YouTube. Hello. We should be live. Yeah, we need some unethical chatters. Hello, Sarah. Guess what support here we've seen quite a bit this week? No idea. It'd be Life Weaver. I haven't actually seen a single game. Anything. I have not seen a single team fight. Is it Weaver, though? Tax evasion, scamming. Yeah, but that's too vague. We need more specific things like, you know, are we spamming or scamming grandparents? Are we scamming children? Hello, Magister. Okay, that's done. Let's pull up Twitch. I'm gonna go pull up the game, y'all, and then be right back.
Two is a must-win type of scenario. So like how you mentioned,
Frick.
just get into the play.
The ultimates are rolling, looks like.
See if you can go on a run. This is a map which they absolutely need to win to be able to do that, and at least putting together a pretty good effort here.
Missed the FD Gods Weaver. You know what day it is, Spilo? No, I don't actually. I've lost count. Is it 110 now?
An arena where, in theory, that they would be favored, but I think they go for a pretty risky play on defense. That Life Weaver, ERE, Farah composition. I do think that comp needs a lot of things to go right for it.
How are Peps doing this this stage? I don't feel like they're doing too well, right?
It is very niche. Takes a lot of coordination. Everything kind of has to go right for you to be able to make it work.
We are back.
No, we do see
I had to clean up my desk. That's good mess.
there, right? Extremely niche. Does not get Peps a map on the board. So now Peps, right? Do you go and play hybrid and try and say, okay, if we can win hybrid, we kind of force their hand to play Runesapi and either New Junk City or Saravasa for the final two, or do you pick one of those just to try and get on the board?
I mean, you can, but there's no.
Good morning. Hello.
Playing out in your favor. I really feel that this is the best map against the ultimates that you can pick. And when they
Monopolize cancer treatment. Sell a 6-hour course on how to balance Overwatch and just ran out Widowmaker. It's a good call.
Almost always been a less than ideal situation. So this looked really good. The Orisa play was a gap. He looked very good there. And the Diva play, notice he eats that bowler shot there towards the end of the map, and it's just very good in that shell as well.
And with these bans, right, well, what we've seen from the Ultimates today, it's not like just ban the Ana and you're good, right? Because Twilight's played the Brig, we've seen Heesung play like the Orisa and some of the other tanks. So for Peps, it will be their map selection.
The fragrance, man. Well, I think the $5 investment to get $1 million was probably a good financial decision there, surely. Peps haven't done great. Interesting. Any interesting matches or series or maps we could watch? Not right now, but maybe if we have some time between maps. Day 130? We're 130, man? No way. Really?
I might be trying to get the Orisa out of the game. Like I might be trying to force Heesung.
That's crazy. Congrats, Magister.
I don't know. Like do you
Maybe it'll be like a pregnancy, you know, like day 273, and then Junkrat Misery finally happens. We got a long way to go. All right, thank you, Sarah Lee.
It's like forcing them off the Brig by getting rid of the Brig-like partner, so to speak. So this is quite interesting. I think this is a really good ban here for Peps. And then Ultimates, they get rid of
nice. Pepper is at a BJJ tournament right now, and she's 3-0. So far, so good. I did not watch the Quick Esports versus Ultimates game. Do you mean, wait. Was that the one that already happened? Yes, I did watch that one. We reviewed that one. Freya's still a straight upgrade to Sojourn? I don't think so, man. But I'm not sure. Like, dude, she got freaking smoked. The updraft cooldown, and then freaking cooldown of reload, and then the cooldown on her dash, and then the verticality. Gaslighting Baldman, hello.
Are they going to force? I would like to see them force that Winter Comp, personally.
I mean, Sojourn and Freya were also just apples and oranges. Both fruits, you know, both similar, but Sojourn way better in the flatness, right? Freya way better in the verticality. You know? I think Sojourn's a lot more consistent as well with her ultimate. And I think Sojourn's actually better versus dive when there's no verticality. Slide is just generally a lot faster and responsive, and she has 25 more HP. Where is Reaper? I don't know. Do you guys know where Reaper is? Have you guys seen him? He was at the bar last night. I tried to get him to go home, but he said something about he was the DD, but he was completely cooked. So he might be crashed out in a dumpster somewhere. Hello, Cybershark. He went home with you? Okay. Who's the best thing at WCS right now, and why is it Ball? Yeah, I don't feel like post-nerfs, if they're playing on live, I don't know if they are playing on live or not. I don't feel like Freya's a... Man, I don't know. I don't know if she's guaranteed a must-pick on all maps, though, anymore, for sure. But obviously these teams have put a lot of the practice in, so swapping is like the opportunity cost. Bat Brig here. That definitely feels better with the hero pool that we have here. It's not good for the map, but at least it's... I wouldn't say it's terrible for the map, you know, but yeah, at least it's not Kiri Lucio. It's live? Okay, interesting. Peps bans Juno so that they can't run like Juno Brig, if you guys noticed that. So that forces them to either mirror Kiri Lucio or play something just without speed boost on Flashpoint, which is tough. Have you played the Night Rain? I have. I played a lot of Night Rain. Yesterday, legitimately, like, full degenerate mode. I think I played, like, 7 hours of Night Rain yesterday. With Tectra, Stefano, and Boy. You guys know Boy? In the Discord? I am serious about, like, expanding horizons in terms of... we might do a critique of Night Rain, good things, bad things, a full review, all from the basis of what it's trying to accomplish, which I think is really unusual. So you have to be fair... I respect it. I saw the vision. What's wrong with Kiriko Lucio? I mean, the ultimates don't have the hero pool for it. Like, Twilight isn't the most flexible when it comes to Kiri, to my knowledge, and they don't have a Lucio player. So, it was a prediction pulse, so... Yeah. But yeah, you could see why Peps pulled them here. Like, this is gonna be... Listen, I'm an Ultimates doomer, but also at the same time, like, this is like the worst case scenario for the Ultimates. It's a bad point, bad map, bad everything. They've got freaking Ken on Genji. Kai has to move on this map. They have the support lineup. They don't have Heesung on Winston. Like, this is like, not that Heesung is a one trick, but like this is about as bad as you're going to get with the Ultimates. And so like you kind of just have to like take the L here. I mean, not saying you can't win. Of course they can win. I'm just saying, like, you just can't, like... You see, there you go. So, like, this is going to be as ugly as the Ultimates probably look. Yeah, exactly. Paps are, like, all unstrong heroes right now. Elden Ring fan before we got in Overwatch. So seeing the Overwatch coach playing Elden Ring is a bit funny. Yeah. I'm not super good at Elden Ring. Like, obviously I beat... Yeah, I mean, I'm above average. Like, I put the time in. Like, I've done all the... I did New Game Plus. I did the DLC without any summons, and did Radon post nerf without using a shield or a bleed build. Like, it took me like 4.5 hours, but I've done like the you know, baby's first try hard run kind of a thing, right? But I wouldn't say I'm like particularly good. It's a good trade. So it's definitely been challenging with Night Rain, but we've made it. We beat, obviously, the first boss, you know, that's not too bad. But, ooh, they used beat, ouch, okay. But then we beat our second boss last night. Took us quite a while. It's also really hard. Night Rain just feels very different. It's hard to put a finger on it. Maybe we'll talk more about it later. Do I angle max there too? No. A little bit. Angle maxing is helpful for sure, unironically, but, yeah. I feel like Radon with a summon would be even harder, though, no? because he just gets more health, and I think it's more like proportional. Like I think you're better off without it.
Cookie also ready and waiting with the bowler shot to throw.
Yeah. We've killed one of the end bosses. We killed the pest. But it is really freaking hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie with you. Like, the in-game bosses feel harder than anything I've ever done in a FromSoft game. And I've done Charmless, Demon Bell, Sekiro, the whole Elden Ring, all the bosses, everything. It's rough. I've done Radon. The problem is not that the bosses are impossible, but they're very hard, and it takes you 45 minutes to get to the boss. And then you're like, you got one shot. And you may or may not be equipped for it, depending on how everything went. So, it's like, I wouldn't say that if you're struggling with Night Rain it's just freaking ridiculously hard. But also, like, the thing is, you have to solve the scaling as well. Like, if you show up at the final boss with like great gear, level 15, you're gonna do probably okay. But there's a lot of questions about like FromSoft challenge and so on. Wow, they're just going. I think this is Peps knowing that they don't have the ults and they just go. They're just cheating, but I actually love that from them so much. This is exactly why you cheat, right? The planning from Peps is really good here. The trading is good though from the ultimates. The ultimates response is pretty good there. Cav is just completely uncontested on the off angle here. I actually don't mind the Kiriko BAP swap if Twilight can do it. Like, I don't know if Twilight looks, but oh jeez. The angle maxing here. This is also, I think, where Tracer's really strong is on this point. Very broad. So cheating means that is in, like, they're just running it down. They're not, like, setting up the angles. They just run it down. Speed boost, run it down. Run it in their face. Moira, flat map. Bat Brig, too much movement demanded. Doesn't have the speed. I don't mind it. Frey gets very little help, but yeah, sure. Buff Genji, please. Good stick there from Kai. Kai caps his... Oh no, they get... Oh no, he gets stuck though. He gets stuck. Still winnable. Still very... Okay, yeah, huge. Don't shoot the Orisa. You don't shoot the... Okay, there. That's actually a pretty good value right there, actually. That's unironically. That's where the one of frontline deflects are actually useful. He dies for it though, so maybe not. Oh, Suzu comes in clutch. Zerion comes in just in time. They really don't want to use that Kitsune. They probably don't need it. Kev is going to live. Holy crap. If you have questions about the coaching, I mean, you can send them here if you want, but you can also message me. It depends on the questions, but if they're quick questions, you can ask them here. Yeah, Absurdity is my manager. He's paid 6 figures. Oh my gosh, I thought that was going to hit. Kitsune is used. Do you see how like little angle control they have though? So if they don't connect with Kai, then they're kind of cooked. I mean, they should be able to connect with Kai because Kai doesn't have like any pocket. But yeah. Kai dying is not even a bad thing. Like if Kai keeps showing up in the kill feed, I don't think it's necessarily bad because he's completely unsupported here. So as long as his deaths are expensive, it's okay. 6 figures to 4 decimal places? Wait, 4? I agreed to 5. It's in your contract. Hey, Betty. Oof. Whoa! Huge damage. D.Va's gonna die for that damage, because there's just no way they can walk forward with that much damage coming in. Wait, Tread dies? What? Hello? Does FD God beat this? Do it, you coward. Do it, you coward. Do it, you won't. Do it, you won't. Oh, no, you don't beat this. D.Va's good versus this. D.Va's good versus what Peps are running. But then Tread will go Ram, yeah. It's a good try from Ultimate. So was their best point, though, for their comp. This one will be a little bit stronger for Genji, given how compressed things are. Angles for Tracer are a bit more awkward here. Oh, Ken gets smoked! Oh man, that sucks. Ultimates angle max and set it up really nicely. Credit to the Ultimates, man. Winning the neutral, not playing it fair because they knew they had to beat thing. Kin's gonna swap.
Man, this would be such a throw here for
So it's a good point for Genji, but obviously a little bit harder to apply consistent pressure versus a backline that isn't Baptiste Brig because there's a little bit more mobile so they can mark the Genji, but Tracer's a lot more free versus a comp like this as long as you play it patiently. But Ken is not going to be as good as Kevster as a Tracer, so this is slowly working towards the Ultimate's favor, honestly. Kitsune is used. Beat is used as well. It's a good beat. It's good. What can they get out of it? They need to force D.Va out. They're going to force the bomb. Maybe. They force a response with Kitsune. Kitsune is used in double response, so double Kitsune. Suzu's used. D.Va's out. Tracer's out. Angle's pocketed. Ken gets picked. Kai gets the smoke. Kai basically playing like very, very hit and run, right? Yeah, it's just that's kind of like, without seeing it, it feels like those were moments there where like you needed more Tracer pressure there from but Ken versus Kevster is just gonna be Kev every time. Do the Ultimates have a Lucio player? No.
Peps has definitely been thrown off a little bit. They've lost two straight flashpoints.
Am I doing Elden Ring this stream? I don't know.
I mean, they got okay. So the final flashpoint going to pop off. It looks like a few members of the Ultimate's gonna get here first.
They're getting gapped by the Moira comp, man.
Tech, what's your schedule like for today? I can't do anything tomorrow. I think I said.
Take a deep breath. Pulse there for Kevster, not successful.
Very nice for Peps. Peps really needed something going their way here because this is their best map, best situation, and the Ultimates might steal this, man. Work until like 8 or so. Okay, maybe we could do it afterwards. Did Stefano say anything in the chat? How is Elden Ring? Freaking hard, but honestly a lot of fun. I don't know how Tech feels, but like it is really fun playing with Tech and Stefano and stuff. The gang. It's like just like a social thing. It's just really fun. It's really hard social thing, but it's my definitely my cup of tea to kind of problem solve stuff like that. Jeez, dude. There's just no way. Like, look at the Moira value, man. The solo off-angling, he's +1ing his Tracer here. Frick, man. Good stuff. There's no way it's as consistent value as the Lucio, but it's budget. It does the job. Oh, did I miss a question? I'm sorry. Is it possible for a console player to get coaching? Yes, absolutely. No problem whatsoever. As long as you can, your Discord screen share or whatever function, or you can be, your people can stream replay codes to you through Discord, like you're familiar with Discord, you're fine. All right, this is going to be hard, man. They got to connect with something with this beat, but Kai's done a much better job. Kind of, I say that in Kai, I think almost, where is Kai? Maybe Kai has been hard. Okay, that's good. So Kitsune beat Twilight Layers late, but Kai gets a trade and Cookie from the off angle, right? They're focusing Orisa. Orisa fortified down. She will die. As long as they don't get traded elsewhere, it's a decent fight. Oh, no, Zerion gets traded. Dude, that's really bad. That's really bad. Oh my gosh, Kevster, dude. He's just not being contested right now because it's like he's getting Moira help, and I'm not sure where the support has been, but like he's also just killing people, man. This is really, really freaking good from Kev, dude. Like there's not a lot of pressure on him right now, to be fair, but like you got to give credit where credit is due. Yeah, I don't know if it was a Kitsune Jax. He might have gotten only a little bit. I don't know. He definitely used it and then died, but I don't know if it actually went off or not. Oh no, Cookie smoked. FD God, wow. Ultimates, honestly, dude, honestly, really nice adjustment from the Ultimates and really well played by both their DPS players. Even Kai, I think, from what little I could see, did a really nice job. Maybe I'm calling it too soon, but did a really good job living on basically uncontested or unsupported for quite a while. But Kevster's unsupported or uncontested, man, and Kev is just running it, like running the lobby right now. They need to get a kill of this, right? That he missed is it. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Ken dies. Ken dies for touch. I don't. FD God will die for touch as well. Yeah, that's it. This is what should be happening when the Ultimates play. It's like Peps has a strategy, they're unable to execute on it because the Ultimates are just better mechanically. That's it. Ken just completely gets smoked. No. Ken is not supposed to be marking Kev. Ken is supposed to be just getting value, wherever that may be. I don't know where his angle was, but yeah.
Through it. So big shout outs to them in a game that was must win. They get a 3-0.
Yeah.
I was looking at LBs for other Symmetra players, and most I saw also play Torb in May. If you're the type of person that enjoys playing off meta because it's kind of you like flexing your creative muscle, then you're gonna enjoy playing Torb in May. People that off meta generally like other off meta heroes. Aerithal will back me up as they say that the Symmetra main materializes.
In this very region, since Dive is not like the EMEA goes, right? So we want to see them on those Orisa comms, on those Brawl comms.
It's like when the person that likes like the Reinhardt will like the other tankier heroes in other games. It's just like you just like weird out of the box characters.
Especially on circuit, like that Iliari, Lifeweaver, shenanigan. Didn't work, but it would have looked really cool if it did.
Cheers, Fragrance. I appreciate it, mate. If you have any more questions beyond that, just let me know. This is a good time for me to ask. I used to have an Ask Spylo channel, but it just kind of got swamped with stuff. So if you were here, I'm very willing to keep it up. With a ranked ban system? What are your problems with it, Pope? Curious. I might be able to pass them along. Yeah, cheers, Simba. I mean, I get it. My favorite DPS heroes to play in ranked are Venture, Sombra, and Mei. Now, they also coincidentally have been, with the exception of Mei, new characters or reworked characters recently, you know? But I like you know, kind of out of the box, you know?
But that's again, right? Like when they seem to have the upper hand, when things are going well for them, they just like make
Genji and Executor for sure.
Yeah, their macro sucks, I think. They're really talented.
well, you
as a
said
team.
it more charming than I tried to say it, so there's that. But yeah,
I mean, Ryan and then whoever the big brawler dude is.
right? Like just some crucial mistakes, fundamental.
Can you take Mayfree's Page Perk out of the game? Bro, I am trying. I am trying.
They drop a map. They were ahead.
How would I fix Freya? I mean, doing exactly what they're doing right now. I don't think Freya needs fixing.
Saw the mistakes last week. We could also probably say we saw
I think the crit perk needs nerfing.
that. So that's kind
I think it's way too forgiving. I think they probably went a little too harsh with the updraft nerf because I think having 12-second cooldowns for mobility kind of sucks. But I think that they're just gonna take some experimentation. I also wish that you could dash during your ultimate.
really difficult matches potentially out of the way.
Dealing with Hog when Ana is banned and stuff like that, it really exposes characters that their kits only really kept in check by a few options. Yeah, I mean, there's the alternative of like when a character is hated, they're banned a lot, but then if a character isn't quite hated enough, you can ban their counters out. But that's more of the character design issue. I agree with you that bans are exposing bad hero design or unpopular hero design. But I honestly, like, if it's we have to eat our vegetables in that regard for a little bit, I'm willing to take that. I'm willing to take that. Why is my house in heaven right now? Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. It's just the... I swear there's something wrong with my camera. Like, it's like the bloom or something or the glow is, like, way up there. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. I do like the dishonest hog on tank, yeah. I did clean the lens. I have like a microfiber cloth. Like, look. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll use another microfiber cloth. It's a different one. It's like used for like glasses. Hey, come here, chat. Come here. Open your mouth. There you go. I guess that's better. Is that better? Am I crazy? Am I gaslighting myself? You might be right, Poke, but yeah. What is the worst designed character in Overwatch? And the most offensive or the worst designed?
Yeah, I think this is just also generally a good statement for them to make for other teams, because now that they saw that
I don't want to talk about attacker's advantage, bro. I think it's 57-80% a meme, and the rest is like math that you literally... No offense, these are the same people that said that push is like fundamentally attack first fight advantaged, and like... I can't with these people. Like, you have to run the stats. There's no way to know. I'm not smart enough, but they definitely aren't smart enough. You need stats on it. Yeah, I mean, Widow's a good vote. You know, Widow's kind of inoffensive right now because she's just not very popular and she's really easy to ban out. But Widow is like a horrible hero. Like, there's nothing interesting about the character at all. Like, even Venomine is like grapple, just boring. Infosight's boring, just terrible. In terms of the most offensive character, probably Orisa Hog, somewhere around there. In terms of most unpopular character, probably Sombra. But And then the most underrated for how crappy they are, we talked about it already, but I think Idiari, you know?
The recipient, of course.
Yeah, I think that Kai, there was a time in his period where he was on the very flashy DPS heroes. And
Hey, Finish.
Ryan was,
Cheers.
was really all about like the insta kills, you know, what Widow was able to do. Now,
Weird character. I don't know. I think you just have to experiment with. I find myself gravitating to characters that I can't really anticipate. I just really do think that you have to play everything. I think that you need to try everything to really know.
like 30%. In fact, no, if he has 50% more damage than Cookie for like a lot of that.
They ban Ball, Doom, and Ana. Well, there's a reason behind that. The reason that people ban Ball, Doom, and Ana is they're either baby support players that can't handle pressure because it breaks their heal bot, or they're baby Roadhog, whatever fill in the blank heroes that want to play their DPS tank, and that's basically it.
Players on the team, if Heesung,
But honestly, they deserve votes too. Like, you have to take the bad with the good with bans, you know?
some of their comfort picks or picks they would like to play, and Kai and Kev can continue to just play
Weird OTPs always get good bans. Yeah, that's true.
form, right?
That's true.
Because you're probably going to dip a little bit on the other ones, but you know, that's one thing I think you could look at with this Ultimates team is like, look, these
Today Spylo was bald. Yeah, I don't know. What is the hair genetic thing? Is that mother's side, father's side? My grandfather's, I've got really good hair genetics. My dad's side still has a lot of black hair, and he's like 80 something. Like, he's got a full head of hair, and like it's only gray and like 50% gray, you know? Mother's side.
Which was unusual. That's
All right.
characteristic of the.
So then my mother's father. But then how does that work? Does my mother get hair genetics from her father, or does my mother only get it from her mother? Like, how that doesn't make any sense.
To see where the ultimates
So my mom's dad has got good hair too, though. He had like a freaking he had a Spylo hair a couple years ago, big old hair. I bet I could probably dig up a picture. Yeah, so I'm good. He went white really early when he was like 50, but that's also not necessarily a bad thing because you just look like you're the same age for like literally 30 years.
the most brutal teams here. So the Ultimate
So in theory, I've got good hair genetics.
would say some time, and they have the buffer to really get their ducks in a row. They've got to play Frosttail.
Yeah, so I might go white early. I might go gray early, but I'll have a full head of hair. I don't really care about white or gray that much. My mom went gray really early, and it looks really good on her.
Edition, right? Over 6 weeks, it's not a lot of time to become a world-class team with a big upheaval.
Thoughts on making it so we could see teams before bans? I don't know. I don't think so. I think you'd have too many targeted bans. There's like too many opposite extremes.
3 and 4, right? That's like beating Frost.
50 isn't early to go white. Well, full white. Yeah, I mean, he was full, like not mixed, but as in like he's. Whoosh. There's like basically no dark hair at the age of 50, whatever. I think that's early for most people that I've seen.
Last stage 3-4 was not.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's gonna be outliers. Yeah, but like for the vast majority of people, losing all your color when you're like for 50 is not
The Ultimate Team
normal.
6th as well. So they
Same thickness to my knowledge. Yeah.
better than that, but you know that VP game, honestly,
You're a buyer soon, but I don't know this. You'll be fine. Okay.
Virtus Pro have
Cross my hair.
ability over the last few weeks.
Spylo with white hair giving me life advice is gonna go crazy.
Fail. There's
Yeah.
still the last chance qualifiers, right? So you can.
Just keeping up with the activity and stuff will be fine.
That's how Peps is gonna make it to Riyadh. It's gonna
Yeah, but definitely bans favor OTPs in a weird way. But see, at the same time, that's not necessarily a terrible thing if the OTP doesn't main a character that is actively unpopular.
a very special prize for a very special winner of a very.
But I do see what you're saying. Like, there's like gonna be that occasional Roadhog main that just.
This is
I love Matt's face in the bottom right. There's just like he just looks ashamed.
of you is AI generated.
It's not, bro.
There's no way you.
I'm wearing makeup. I'm wearing.
Favorite active Pharah player? I don't know. I'm completely out of the loop with who plays a lot of Pharah right now.
Get me this. Someone clip this to me.
All I face is Junkrat and Hog every match. Well, let's start banning Junkrat and Hog, bro.
Attackers advantage real on
No! Depriest, you fall into the dark side. No, I'm just kidding. I've been asked that a lot. I don't know, man. We don't have the numbers on it.
Are you implying that the people?
I will say that the logic of the attacker's advantage isn't sound. Because you're saying, oh, we know where we need to hold. That doesn't make any sense. You also know how far you have to push. How does that favor? What does that mean? You can conserve ultimates. You can force ultimates in fights where you don't need to. You know what I'm saying? The only advantage that I can see probably has more to do with the fact of like how time banks work with OT.
Feels like
You know what I'm saying? So like if you're attacking first, I believe you have the lower time bank, correct? So then you get OT spawns, correct? Sooner, which means that if you snowball, it's really easy to snowball quickly and attack. This has been documented for years, but this is not to do with attackers or defenders first. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about an OT. Hottie theory. Hottie theory is something that's probably, I don't know how true it is, if it's bad, but it's definitely, there's definitely situations where it matters for sure. We just don't know. And anybody that says otherwise doesn't actually. You need to run the statistics on it. You hear Derpy screaming from here? I don't give a frick, dude.
I'm on the come up.
Alright. Okay, he's on the come up. So this up and coming caster will be.
Why is Uber staring into my soul?
Joined by
One big break.
the old and trusted Matt. But for now, we're gonna say goodbye to the two of them. Thank you so much for calling the action. It's been a pleasure as per usual. We're heading into a short break, and after that.
And now everyone's gonna freaking start noticing it now. Now that's brought up. Like I said, I don't want to. I'm not engaging with the same community or like the demographic that was convinced that push was unbelievably imbalanced from first fight causation or whatever, like first fight win percentage, and just like let Koth exist. Push is mathematically imbalanced, and yet nobody talks about it anymore. Crocs? Oh, I don't know. He played recently. I don't know if he still does right now. Avril theory? Yeah. That's the one thing me and Avril disagreed on. And the thing is when you're resetting the robot, you're preventing the enemy team from making progress when they win too. You know what I'm saying? It's not a zero-sum game, you know? I don't think I'm using that term correctly, but like you're stopping them from gaining progress as well. Masters League team where you got money? Fair enough. OWCS brain rot. Is there anything you missed from Overwatch 1? I miss deathmatch being more popular, and I miss tryhard lobbies. That's what I miss. I miss tryhard FFA being more popular, and I miss deathmatch being more popular. I don't miss the Roadhog players in the deathmatch. You know, at least they're nerfed in Overwatch 2. Zenyatta. Any chance for forehead reveal? I've already done multiple forehead reveals. I did a forehead reveal this last stream and the stream before that, and I'm pretty sure the stream before that. Cards? Oh yeah, true. Cards were fun. That's actually interesting, DePriest. Probably not, but that's interesting. I'm curious what would happen. You missed them? Yeah. It can be a tradition? No. Hottie theory is that if whoever has the smaller time bank usually wins an OT. It's not, I don't know how true it is, but it's definitely something that is you have to be really careful with, because if you win, you basically defenders end up with OT spawns really quickly if they screw up. Because if you win, let's say you have 60 seconds. You win first fight, you go into second fight, you get an ult bank, you win second fight as well because you get your ults first. Then you snowball off of your ult advantage and the fact that the defenders have OT spawns. I've seen situations where people will get a full cap and one or two of the defenders' heroes will build basically not even all the defenders' heroes will build an ultimate before they get a full cap, honestly. It can snowball pretty badly. I'm not sure what the deal is with Falcons is. I've been out of the loop with what the recent results are, but Hottie is bald, so must be smart. I agree, Ninja. It might also be something that is not exploited until the professional level as well. Like in terms of really efficient old economy and stuff like that. It might not be something that is really something that lower ranks or mid ranks or even ranked players really deal with. Falcons seem to take a long time to adjust to meta unless it's in their wheelhouse. That's true. I have noticed that. Yeah, there's been like the whole drama with Proper and Someone and Hanbin and stuff like that, which we don't really know. Quick Esports got picked up by a Saudi org a few hours ago. Huh. Okay. Cool. Good for them, I guess. Old economy normally just don't commit 3 ults to win the fight. Yeah, basically. Geek and Timeless. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who Exen is. Extinction Esports. Okay. Sorry, chat. Hang on. I'm organizing my weekend because I'm going to have my family over and we're going to hang out tomorrow. Yeah? I asked. We'll see. I reached gold in all roles. Why no drops here? I mean, there might be. I don't know if. How do drops work? You might check your Twitch UI. See if you're getting drops or not. I'm not sure. I think you have to be like a specific stream thing to get OWCS drops. So you'd want to just have the OWCS in the background. Yeah, partly Kushira. Drop in Crazy Raccoons, drop in performance. I just think that whenever there's a big meta shift, whether it's through bans or through Freya, that higher level teams are just a lot more vulnerable. You kind of reset the player board, you know? This is always the case. Which team do you think had the most dominant prime in Overwatch League? Coincidentally, I think it was both times that Lip was on a team. Shanghai Dragons 2021 with Ball Sombra Tracer stuff. They were just so freaking good. And then I think Atlanta Reign, the 2 seasons after that. Yes, 2023, I think. I might be miscounting. It was the Sombra Tracer, Winston Sombra Tracer meta. The first half of that season, they were just really good. They were contested at times by like Houston or whatever, if I remember correctly. But they were very clearly like the best team, like by far. It was like the perfect meta for them. Yeah. I think both those teams were dominant for also months and months and months, you know, which is pretty long. Is Hisense important for FPS? As long as it's over 4K, you're probably fine. I'm definitely a Wingstop stan. I've never been to Wingstop, so it's more about the concept of Wingstop and how it exists, and I'm supportive of that. I'm not going to go to one, no. To me, it's like what Wingstop is in my brain will never be matched by the real one, so I pay allegiance through the Wingstop in my mind, if that makes sense. Which characters do benefit the most from bans? Could be, yeah. That one would be hard to quantify without numbers, but we could definitely conjecture. Looking swole, thank you. I told you guys like 2 weeks ago I got 55-pound dumbbells. And for context, I haven't ever had 55-pound dumbbells my whole life. And so it's like I've been kind of like hard limited by stuff. And so it's been like 55 has been like a real challenge for a lot of the stuff I do. I don't do arms too often, but I do it occasionally. And it's been like it's actually so nice to like actually like do something that actually feels like really, really hard or really like 50s were hard too. But like it felt like there's like a really interesting study I remember reading in Peak. And it talks about how like people were trying to memorize like chains of numbers, you know? And they like would plateau until the person they would challenge them to memorize a chain of numbers higher than they'd ever gone. So them overshooting their goals by just a little bit kind of forced their brain to adapt, if that makes sense. It's been nice. Yeah, I know. Again, I think that there's negatives for bans as a whole for sure, but I don't think that there's. I think there's always you just have to take the bad with the good, to be honest, until they deal with the stuff long term. I know that there's going to be some people unhappy with it, especially people that are like fully exploiting the bans or not, but it's just kind of how it's going to be. Rabbit Scorpion, thank you for the sub. Did you guys see that? I'm sure you guys saw the Violet announcement video. What the heck is that, dude? It's freaking crazy, dude. Hilarious. Thank you. I will have some of Jeff's money. Look at the cat's paw.
And he's such a long boy right now.
Dude, Nori was a legend. 2021, banning May.
Looks like Grim, actually. Yeah, you can tell getting a little too close to the belly. The back legs come up.
Yes, yeah, he has his own trading card. Like, this cat has achieved so much more than I. And that's
I don't know, Dupreece.
that I've made in my life. Speaking of choices, Johnny, you're coming back from a little trip. How was it?
That was great. Yeah? That was great. And I was on social media. I didn't play any games, and so I got back this morning and saw Overwatch. And I was like, "Whoa! What? Video game? What's a video game?"
Advanced cat analysis. It's probably a boy cat with how his body language is. Boy cats are generally more chill in terms of their relations with humans.
You've changed, Johnny. You know what else has changed? Our drops. Let's take a look at the drops. I really just insulted you for the sake of
Void cats.
this was the transition.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I'll do anything for a good transition.
That's why I get the best of these versions, yeah.
Man of the people. The people should be connecting their Batman accounts to the
It's actually pretty cool, honestly. It's nice that they get like a little bit of unique stuff here.
watch. There is plenty more action, of course, to watch as we're just
You want a cat so bad?
through.
Well, if you take good care of a cat and have just one, it can work.
No, okay,
Nori's chilling, bro.
sick. Yeah.
See a lot of someone's gonna play last season. She's more of a toxic.
Players coming up, of course, and then afterwards, for the first time ever, we're gonna have
Yeah, Summer is just community perception, in combination with an actual legitimate problem. You know,
We want to see teams fighting for their lives.
so we want blood.
she's seen as a solution character.
It's almost here, by the way, which is weird because it's halfway through the year and where's the time gone? I don't know.
And the problem with Sombra as well is that she is globally offensive. Arissa is actually the same as Sombra in many ways in terms of how she interacts with the tank line with her survivability, her spammable CC, her damage output, and so on. The problem with Arissa though is that generally the tank has to deal with the problem, where Sombra can equally offend all roles, right? So
You can do so. Grab your tickets right now.
your caretaker's allergic. Ah, okay.
As for the world final,
That's all right.
tickets are available right now. Johnny will give you a
Tortitude is real. Yeah. Female cats can also just be kind of a little bit snippy. Amari is really sweet to me, but she is not super friendly to strangers.
I was there last year. I can't really remember where I was going, but
Yeah, Sommer's a tricky one.
But they don't know any better, so
that's true.
make it
I could just.
make it.
It got me this far. I'm good.
That's right. Let's see how far our teams came thus far with their performances. Some fraudulent, some not so much.
Dang, Nightmare killing it.
On top.
Dude, Space Station, dang man, 1 in 3? What is a Space Station roster again, chat? That's crazy. It seems so low. Right, Sugar Free, Seeker, Kellen. Yeah, so they're to the top teams as well. With the exception of Seeker, I think Seeker's an odd choice. I think, especially in the current meta right now, I've been seeing him a lot on Tracer, and like that's just not what you want to see. But other than that, it's a fairly decent roster, right? CJ, Bliss, that's solid. Sugar Free, Kellen, on paper, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, so just maybe some unlucky matches, but still, though, with that roster, you don't want to be losing to all 3 of those teams.
And then we got GK against Team Liquid. This ought to be a good one. And we finish off the day with Nightmare and Extinction. So let's dig into our first match.
Sakura versus SN. He struggles in the Freya. Yeah. A lot of the hit scans have. I mean, we've seen Kai struggling in the Freya as well.
He's like, I'm out for this one. Not in. Okay.
It's a big cat, too.
Not a Sakura enjoyer.
Sugar-free Seeker. And yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Sakura.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, look, Sakura, Johnny, how do you feel about this team going at Supernova? Because I know you.
Did Bernard really retire? I don't know. If he did, that's a shame. I think Bernard is very secretly one of the most underrated tank players in the history of professional Overwatch. We never really saw enough from him to. I think that he was on certain characters, especially maybe top 2 or 3 of all time. In many ways, Sakura, 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 Sakura. Hazard, Diva, Sigma. Bernard was really good in a lot of those. Dude, Sakura's so much cooler. Frick you guys. I'm saying Sakura. Sakura, 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 Sakura. Seikiro. Seikiro. Sakura. Ugh. This roster reads like straight out of a early 2020 contenders roster. Look at this. Astro, Grapes, Rinko, aka Mudkip, Sam, and False. Like this, you could have blindfolded me and said this was from 2020, and I would believe you, man.
Does require more prep. Lots of well-known faces on this squad.
I don't respect other cultures. Oh, give me a break. Is it a cultural thing? Is it a Japanese thing or what is it? Sakura. Sounds Japanese. Yeah. It's a tree. Well, they named it wrong. They should have named it Sakura. They did not consult me. Do you watch combat sports? I don't. I enjoy MMA in many aspects, but I don't watch a lot. But John Jones retiring, I mean, he's been around for a long time, right? I swear he's been around for like what, 12 years, 13 years? That even I know that name.
I was about to say, like, I don't feel like I saw those nerfs in a
Everyone calls it how you say it, to be fair. Well, that's right, because I set the precedent.
made it then. I feel.
Sakura. All right, you know what? Frick you guys. Give me a second. How to pronounce
Sakura,
Sakura. Sakura.
Sakura, Sakura,
No. Sakura.
This is a word in Japanese meaning cherry blossoms, and it's also how to say more interesting and often confusing Japanese vocabulary as well, so make sure to stay tuned for those. This is blossoms, and it's also a name. How do you say it? Sakura.
Sakura.
Pretty straightforward once you know Sakura, and now you know.
Frick. I did not get consulted for this. Sakura. Ah, frick you guys.
Thank you, Jack. I can't believe Zoe roasted me like that. You know,
What do you expect?
I'm not reading Twitch chat right now, but please be kind. I mean, come on now.
Man.
Last week it was the polo shirt and everything. Like I'm just
Morons. They don't know how to even pronounce their own words. They should have asked me.
Let's talk this series though, Johnny.
Mom's house having setting other cultures again.
I did have you a little bit and said, you got Ryan on the
Shoot.
But like, how do you think this DPS head tech goes up? Because I think X10 has just consistently been phenomenal. I think the most consistent part for a fairly long time.
It's fine.
It was no slouch. This Freya head is going to be a little crazy. I think both teams are also going to want to run that tracer. Like,
Oh, is Graham here?
one of the Freya tracers,
Hey, Graham.
positions coming into this today's series,
Where is he?
despite the nerfs.
Where'd he go?
Yeah, I
Graham.
think both damage
Oh, hi.
matchups are going to be really good. I'm really looking forward to see Peace go up against Ryan in a potential Tracer matchup, of course. And Ryan, we know, prefers to play the Tracer as well. So I think we might go the full series, just seeing both teams opting for that Tracer because they're both comfortable on it, right? But as you said as well,
Here.
I'm curious to see if
Here's my
Freya
Zoe impersonation.
anything to
Hair is kind of similar. Not near as good, but
Freya's still really good, but at the same time,
each syllable is pronounced the same length, I believe. Okay.
prefer to genuinely play hitscan heroes.
You respect my xenophobia? Thanks, Sarah Lee.
Phenomenal on the Sojourn before Freya was released, right? So it'll be interesting to see in this matchup specifically if a couple of those
Alright.
hitscan players have been like, look,
I might
play
relax.
Sojourn. Can you just please let me play Sojourn? Freya got nerfed. You can argue whether the nerfs are effective enough.
In my personal opinion on your foreign culture, you were wrong.
You know, the BCS.
Well,
I don't want to play Freya anymore.
I have the trump card because I'm the streamer, so no.
That as well, like you look at teams like Twisted Mind,
Ilios,
Quartz and stuff, like, hey,
probably Dive, Diva, Freya, Hazard, Winston. Depends on the map though. Hello, Queen of Dice. How are you?
Freya has higher highs than Sojourn, which is weird to say because I think Sojourn's one of the highest.
Funny, Sage dude. Funny, funny, funny. I would be surprised to see. Well, I mean, I guess Ball's okay here, but
Unlimited potential, right?
I don't know. I'm not as familiar with Astro's hero pool. Probably Freya Tracer, probably Kiriko Lucio looking like here, but we'll see. How is your dinner?
But Freya's still insane. Like, even though she got nerfed slightly, I don't think it's really going to tip the scales. If it was more like a
TP, TP,
ranked
TP,
nerf
TP.
more than like an OWCS style nerf, you know what I mean?
Tracer staging. We do see Ball. All right.
Hazard rollout as Astro rocks the ball, and no surprise, we're going to see this throughout the series. And like you said, Johnny, I doubt we're going to see a
Good
Tracer
boop there. Good slam there. Cinnabar's dead. All right.
Cinnabar gets slammed instantly and taken out. Unfortunate.
Yeah, quick little frag there. It'll be interesting to see.
Clear catches grapes. The Lucio players are struggling. I mean, Lucio is hard versus this. You got Ball, Freya, and Tracer. Hazard, Freya, and Tracer. There's like 3 freaking threats here. Lucio is freaking so hard to play here. So valuable, right? Like there's not a whole lot that else you could do, but yeah.
Yeah, nice little cap. Both Lucio's trading there, unfortunate. But all good. You can
Grain bread with mushrooms and ham. Nice. I've never been a big fan of ham, but I don't know. Maybe it's something that I just you just have bad ham, you know, and it just kind of ruins your life, you know?
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, this is also a map, Jaws.
He almost always reads chat. That's a lie.
So, you know, we talked about Sojourn and stuff like that. Like, this is not the map where maybe you're bringing out the Sojourn.
Did Ryan play for Fluffy Dreamland? Again, one of those Overwatch phrases. That was last season, yeah?
The amount of high grounds that you can control is just absurd. And also, Astro is going to be...
Good Hammond players are great to watch. That's true. How many of you guys remember when Wrecking Ball came out? I remember where I was. I remember I was at my desk in New Hampshire on my computer, and I remember I remember being like, I was like, what? I thought it was a joke. I literally thought it was a joke.
Going, right? Like, Ryan and Astro, they need to combine for some kind of effort. We're seeing a bit of a flank here, but they're just poking. They're
I
just
love the high gun control here.
nice early pick.
Yeah, so sorry for today's stream, guys. We're being a little more chill today, a little more conversational, not quite as analysis heavy. It's been a pretty long week, and then also the degenerate nature of Night Rain yesterday about wore me out. So nice retake there from Supernova. Yeah, I mean it came out of left field. Wrecking Ball did. I mean people were not expecting it. Hi, buddy. Chillo streams, yes.
Yeah, big uphill battle here for Supernova to try and get back into this control point. They didn't spend any ultimates there, so
Didn't expect to be questioned about your dinner.
Meanwhile, so advantage here for Supernova. Let's see if they can find an early pick.
Give her the third degree.
Pulse bomb against Kiriko, of course, but Jutsu maybe. Nice.
You would hate watch regardless. Thanks, guys. You know, you gotta be a real dedicated hater to hate watch just for the little bit of ad revenue, so that I can be successful, so that you can hate on me more. Honestly, though, like that's actually the strategy. If you're a real dedicated hater, you want me to succeed, because that makes you so much more like effective at your hating. Nobody cares if you hate like some rando. You know what I'm saying? If I could blow up, like be like the Taylor Swift of. What do I do? Like what would I, you know? Then you could be a real. Then you can calculate your hatred to be a lot more interesting. You get what I'm saying? I actually respect that so much. Haters want their guys to succeed. That was funny, Ryan running right behind Clear. The bigger you are, the more you can hate. Yes. Baking a birthday cake. Nice, dude. What kind of birthday cake is it? Whose birthday? What's your mother's maiden name? Social security number. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, it got so expensive so fast for Supernova because they decided to drop both of those support ultimates, and you think, yes, you gotta trade the sound barrier, but
alright, retake here. They don't have much to retake with. Kitsune is still a little bit away. And they don't have a ton of time here. Now, the good news is they can kind of juggle cart for a little bit with Hazard and Tracer. Pretty good at stalling cart. Or point, sorry. Nice, dude. I love succulents. I'm a big gardener. I'm not a big gardener, but I do enjoy gardening. Is this like a house decoration? Outdoors, front yard, backyard, porch, mother's maiden name? They buy time for the Kitsune there. And Sakura. Supernova will be able to touch. Relatively simple, just 2 layers of buttercream between and on top of all chocolate. Nice, dude. Nice, dude. Hope it goes well. Ball's gonna touch. A lot of HP gone. Actually, Ball's not gonna touch. Ball is bait to allow the Tracer touch, looks like. But he gets chased down and killed. And they're unable to even get anything off of that. Nice job by Sakura. Clear is so good. Yeah, well. Name 5 plants. There's your challenge, chat. Name 5 plants. Name 5 plants. Go for it. I think this will be more getting 3-0 over. I'm not sure. How? So I had many succulents as you took your must before she passed on camera. Monstera and orchid adjacents. Nice. My grandmother used to be really good with her orchids. She was a big fan of orchids, and so I grew up just loving how pretty orchids were. Such a delicate flower, so uniquely shaped, and the color variety is incredible. Sakura. Grass. I'm not sure of any others. Green plant, red plant, tree, brown plant, blue plant. Vanilla Greek yogurt and peanut butter together. Into a sandwich? I guess it depends on the type of bread, I suppose. Hey, buddy, rose, daisy, tree, bush, grape bush. Rhododendron, foxglove, hardy, fuchsia. I forgot how you pronounce that. Crabgrass, Japanese maple. This is even better of a ball map. Nice defense from Cinnabar there. Pankaki. It's fuchsia. That's right. Sunflower. Says leafy melon. The leafy melon just misspelled a plant. There's some crazy for suggesting as a sandwich. I think yogurt and a sandwich is a bit odd. I don't think that consistent, unless you use it as like a sauce, maybe it could work. But like, how would you? I mean, I guess it depends on how much yogurt's in the sandwich. I feel like it'd just be kind of, how would it hold? You know, maybe dip it. Yeah, sunblower, sunblower, pine tree, Douglas fir, palm tree, cactus, and blackberry bush. We used to have wild blackberries where I lived.
I guess they were just waiting for Jutsu to find a pick, right, or Ryan to set up, and they got the cap super early, and then it was like a free 15% and Supernova on the back foot. And
There's always been a silent B. Oh yeah, true. Actually, thank you for that.
as well, like quite far back.
Kitsune is coming up. Ish. Tracer's low. Gets the mega. We're fine. No problem. Freya shot. Freya stuck. Freya's fine. Freya out. Hazard on point. Hazard short dive. Boopity. Boopity boo. Grabbing the mega. Tracer's chasing. Oh my gosh. Somebody put this man in chains. How do you do that?
You see, Astro ended up going for a slam on the point, and
Oh.
the health bar just slowly but surely
It too.
down by the Kiriko, by the just everybody.
Arumphilia. Azalea. Chamomile. Bottle brush, cherry blossom. I love how different cultures spell chamomile differently. Old school British culture, maybe still British culture, spells chamomile without the H. And so I assume that's why the Australian spelling is often without the H. But in America, it's always with the H. It's chamomile. I mean, you don't say it that way, obviously, but nice hazard. Homes taken over by the blackberry bush. You've seen homes ruined. I've seen families broken up. I've seen marriages destroyed by the blackberry bush, actually. Pretty good engage. He should be able to get the mega, too. Oh, no. He trolled that one. He should have just gone straight.
Can't even get the retouch. What a shutout round there from Sakura. That's a little 1-0 to start the series.
Yeah, beautiful played. I mean, they did intentionally shut down the wrecking ball. So you have to give them credit.
A forest, says Simba. That is actually 5 plants.
Because it was targeted and focused so much by Sakura. At the same time, though, like Supernova, you know, they gotta help him out. You're on a timer essentially, so Ryan.
You're saying Sakura doesn't throw shade anymore? There's a joke in there somewhere. Do I like Scrabble? No. That may surprise some of you guys, but no.
I mean, yeah, Lighthouse looked.
I think it's a gimmicky game.
The Astro Wrecking Ball, it was
I've played it a few times, did not enjoy it every time.
It just didn't work out for them. I mean, immediately.
I don't mind word games, but they have to have some sort of selling point, you know, for me. You guys ever played Boggle? That's like fast-paced Scrabble. So I'm like, all right, I can live with that. That's like a skill, you know, that isn't. It's so. Sudoku? It's okay. It's like one of those airplane things, you know. You do it in the airplane. You got nothing else better to do, but. I gotta get a lint roller. I'm covered in black here.
There's just no way. I think both squads are very consistent on them. We'll see if Sakura, well, where do you ban if you're Sakura here? So Supernova can't ban the Diva. Claire can go back to that if they go to like a Gibraltar or any kind of fast map. Do you see Sakura maybe responding with a support ban? Just trying to put pressure on the backline? Like, hey, maybe you don't play Kiriko here. Maybe you don't play the Lucio. Like, force them into like a double flex.
Yeah, we'll have to see actually, because I feel like Sakura, when they often have first ban, they like to protect support ban, because Cinnabar likes to play that. Lucio, of course. So when they can, they like to get a support ban out of the way to protect.
Yeah, John, I'm just gonna pee while we're between maps. Be right back.
Supernova.
Right back.
So maybe we could see them ban out something like a Lucio then, you'd think, right? But I think it's a little bit up in the air. I'm a bit undetermined so far as to where the bans will go.
For maps though, you're like, okay, if Clear really wants to play Diva, although it's like Diva and Hazard right now, both fairly strong. There's and in this map pool as well, Johnny, you're like, okay, maybe you go to Circuit Royale, like you can't play Hazard as well because of all the poke. Diva a little better at taking space in that regard because she has Matrix, and Thruster's pretty easy to get the high ground. But it's going to be New Junk City, so more of a rush style for Supernova. Maybe you could even just go back to what you like playing before, something like Astro on Orisa, like full rush, so we don't have to deal with an annoying Hazard who does kind of get beaten up by the Orisa. And same with the Diva as well, to be fair. This actually makes more sense.
Yeah, you're not facing Asaria in this series. At least so we think, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I've actually played against Clear Asaria in my ranked games, and that was a terrible matchup for me because I got dominated. But those are the kind of heroes that Clear likes to play, right? You know, playing some of the Hazard, Diva, Zarya. Then again, like, I think last week was a bit of an outlier when Dildux pulled out the Zarya. I don't think we'll see it repeated in this series. But yeah, I do like the call out of Astro playing more Orisa. And I feel like that's where North America has trended in general. Like, you've seen even like pretty good dive teams, they've trended towards, we're going to play more Brawly, whether it's integrating like Juno Break into their lineup or playing stuff like Orisa, Ramatra. So I just feel like that's where the region has kind of trended over time. And maybe New Junk City, that's just further proof that Supernova think that despite the fact that, you know, Ryan's fantastic tracer and all this, like, we want to lean more heavily into the brawlier kind of compositions.
Orisa's just, it feels like a default in a way. It's like, if you want to play Rush, as like, dude, it's just like, the character is just fairly linear in a regard. Like, okay, we know how to play around the Orisa, and okay, this, dude, was it really going to come out? Really?
Wow. I mean, they are having nightmares about last week, Jack. Sorry for interrupting you, but that is...
No, I mean...
Sorry, I got something to drink. Shoots and ladders, snakes and ladders. It's fine. I mean, for what it's supposed to be, for kids, you know, teaching them how to move pieces around. It's cool.
Surely they didn't think Sakura goes Zarya. I mean, clearly they did, but maybe it's just a mental thing. It's like, okay...
Chess stream? I told you guys about chess. I learned how to play when I was like 4. Haven't really played it since. I know how to play. I'm just probably pretty bad at it. Bananagrams? Yep. Bananagrams is fine. I like word games with a spin, you know? A twist, you know? I generally don't like older games as much, though. I think that we've learned a lot about what makes games engaging since then, and so, as opposed to a lot of, like, other forms of art or expression, I think games have aged a lot worse than music or movies or art or drawings or whatever. Spyro lifting stream? Maybe someday. I don't really have the setup for it. I read a little bit of fantasy, yep. I haven't read Brandon Sanderson, but he's on the list. About 4 or 5 months ago, I finished the entire Malazan 10-book series, which was quite the read, but I try to set my bar pretty high with what I read because there's just so much to read, and I think especially with fantasy. Right now I've been catching up on a ton of other books. I read a lot. I've read about 20, 25 books already this year. Do you play Overwatch and stream as well? Occasionally, for fun. I don't read any manga, no. Never seen him play Overwatch? You wish. Wordle. My dad plays it. I haven't. But I haven't played it really very much. I think it's interesting. Ooh, nice shot. So they are really forcing the... They banned the Zarya so they can run the Orisa, because I guess you could run Zarya here. It's just a very flat map. I'm surprised more teams haven't tried running Zarya in this map with a ban setup. Like, if you could ban, like, I don't know, what would you... Is she just... I don't know, maybe I'm trying to think, like, what would you... Maybe it's too easy to avoid. I know Clear has the Diva pocket swap. I'm not sure. Sakura, yeah. Should have seen this Torb the other day. Hey, man. Could have been worse. Yeah, Ramatra. True, you would need to ban Ramatra. That's who I was thinking of. I think you nailed it right there. I think Ramatra is what would keep Zarya out of this year. Flag Guesser? I don't think I've ever played that. Pepper and I have been playing Arcs the last couple of weeks. Grinding out Arcs. The board game. It's been good. You've played around a dozen times. How helpful is studying this probe VODs? If you're looking at a specific facet, you can get some details, but you have to be really locked in, you know? Really be looking at how they're using your CDs and so on. No, I haven't played Gloomhaven. A lot of the bigger board games I haven't really played. War of the Ring with the exception. But no. Great Kitsune engage. Renko's not even able to get his off there. Monopoly? No. Worst. The game that boils down to buy the property that you land on.
effortless for them. I mean, they invest like Kitsune Rush and they are able to fight these early picks. Peace is doing a brilliant job on the Genji so far. And Supernova...
Orisa. Is that the Vancouver Titans skin? That would make sense.
So now, leading into the second point, you got 4 ultimates ready to go.
The old strategy Lord of the Rings game that copied Warcraft? Really? How does that copy Warcraft?
This is a lot of time wasted. No clear. I mean, what's that? Clear, Peace, and Cinema are chasing down Ryan. They lose positioning on the point, and actually they lose Z2, so not the best trade now. Bolus is going to come out, connect with the Lucio, but a quick cleanse from...
No. I'm talking about a board game.
Ultimate is completely negated. A B played, though, from Peace.
I know the Blizzard Warcraft thing, but...
Peace is going to try and chase the Lucio, but can't quite actually secure the kill, and Grace gets some revenge. A nice boot kill onto Peace. Eventually, Sakura kind of put in their place as a demon on to clear will mean Supernova getting that first point, that first cap.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward fight. You got Ryan, obviously.
Got it.
It was quite far away from the point, so Ryan able to make it back there in time. Helps trade out the pick as well, and Supernova actually get on the...
Yeah, I don't know a lot of the Lord of the Rings video games because most of them suck. I think there was one that was like a big battle one that's supposed to be pretty good. I've only played a tiny bit of that one at a friend's house, and Latro obviously, but most pros I see get the Mini Diva perk that I've seen. Just allows for consistent Diva bombs. Wow, that was a crazy kill.
Absolutely schooled by Peace. That was a perfect dash. Right-click combo. Instantly takes down the Tracer. No chance to recall. There is a rush on the point as well.
Fricker got rolled.
Supernova is still going to capitalize on that with ult advantage. Sakura might just end up losing this point, Johnny. Supernova, they got a pulse, they got a Terror Surge, and Sakura got nothing in the back.
Oh, missed the Suzu.
Rush online maybe, but Clear's already going to get T-Mech, so there's no chance in this fight now. A completely flip from first.
Yeah, sadly, they'll never play Ryan. They would never play Ryan. Never.
And Ryan has to be so thankful because getting picked so many times.
No shot.
Few different fights there, and Supernova are able to capitalize and win out without him in 4 versus 5 situations. Great job by Supernova, equaling the points here on New Junk City. But man, Ryan's got a...
Not in Brawl Mirrors. I think Ryan is still a gimmick character for this.
really going to set Supernova back throughout the rest of this map.
Yeah, I mean, this is the second time in a row he's been chased out really early on. We'll see if Peace can do the same thing here. Just mark the Tracer. A big rush available, though, from Zed, so they are playing up at an angle.
They drop high ground. They're going to re-engage. They're probably looking for beat here, Supernova.
The point unlocks and they get the cap.
Yeah, so they're going to take the top now. There's the Kitsune. They don't have anything for that, bro. Aster is freaking dead. Even with the ult, he should probably die. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Just awkward timing with the push, man. Just give it a few more seconds. I think they just misread how much Sakura had committed to point. What tank has seen the least play ever in organized tournament play? Roadhog. Definitely Roadhog, I think. Off the top of my head. Yeah, I think Roadhog. You could argue Queen, based off of how long she's been out. She's had metas that we're dominant with, but it would be close, and I think you got to give points for Roadhog being out since literally the game's inception. Like, there have been some Roadhog situations. You know, Overwatch League Season 1, Triple Tank at the start of Overwatch, Pro Overwatch, Hog Zarya meta. There have been brief Hog situations, indoor Hog metas, but given how long he's been out, by far the lowest percentage of uptime. Jugger Queen's had, what, at least one hard meta, and once or twice she's been soft meta, I believe, since then. Doomfist is a good shout. Yeah, Doomfist is a good shout. Doomfist was pretty darn good for a while. For the first 6 months or so of Overwatch 2. He was never hard meta, but there were a lot of teams that played him. Yeah, Doomfist is a good shout, actually. I'd say Doomfist second place or first. I give Doomfist partial credit for the fact that he's not been around for very long. But yeah.
An added layer of protection. This time though, Ryan does find a kill. Cinema go
Ryan has been map situational, team situational since Overwatch 2's release. Very rare, but you have seen him. Wow, what a pulse. And then Ryan has had dominant metas in Overwatch 1. Malgus had a lot of metas. Malgus had a lot of metas since its release. Part of it due to the player laziness, but part of it's also due just because he's actually oppressive. Diva's map situational, yeah. Diva's also gotten better with perks and with the meta. Her matchup versus Freya is really good. So, what do you think these players' rings are? Definitely silver, yeah. But yeah, Overwatch 2 would have to be Doom. Yeah, you're correct, I think, Lucas. Yeah, so there was, I can think of 4 Roadhog metas. The triple tank early in Pro Overwatch before I was even around. Then there was the Junkertown meta, which you'd put your support player in Roadhog, because he'd solo control an angle, and you didn't need a lot of healing, because Mercy was really strong. And then you'd run double sniper, Orisa, Roadhog, like Diva, I think, with a solo Mercy. Then there was Hog Zarya. No, before that, then there was Pulled Pork, which I don't think was ever meta in Overwatch League, but it was like Clockwork Vendetta stuff, if you guys can remember that one, which was like Torb, Orisa, Roadhog, Mei to block the pull hook. I think this was before Sigma's release. I honestly cannot remember. It's been so freaking long. And then there was Hog Zarya. Hog Sigma I don't believe was ever meta. Not in pro play. Does playing a game while you're at your worst help you to raise your skill level to your worst, or help you make it more consistent? I've been a bit watched for a while and got me curious. As long as you're putting effort into the game, it doesn't matter how well you play, to be honest with you, in terms of the learning value. Outside of the fact that it might discourage you or frustrate you. Sakura just dominates, man. Hog Orisa? It would... The only Hog that I can remember was like the Hog Zarya meta of 2020, when they giga-buffed Hog for goodness knows why. No, original Goats was not with Hog. If you mean triple tank, that was not really like Goats, because it fell over to a lot of high damage comps or angle comps. But yeah, he was playing that. Cheers, Sean. Glad it was helpful. I appreciate that. Hog Zarya was such a gimmick, man. That was definitely a low point for Overwatch 1. Very little development, random garbage patches, no news on Overwatch 2. It was a dark days. Dark days. From the start of GOAT until the release of Overwatch 2, Pro Overwatch was just kind of it was just kind of a mess. Most bad metas include Roadhog, yep. Ryan Cass, May, Bap, Lucy meta to come out of nowhere. Just too fragile to dive, man. Bap in his current iteration is too weak, you know? And really that composition was anchored off of Diva. The only reason Ryan Cass May was ever a comp is because you had Diva for off-angle control. You don't have Diva, you don't have 66, that comp can't work. How long did Goats meta actually last? Over a year, but much longer than that in Tier 2 play. I want to say like a year and a half in Tier 2. No, Hog Ball was never meta, no. Ball Sigma was, but not Hog Ball, no. I just like hybrid metas, poke. I liked Ball Sigma because we saw it was like a dive poke hybrid, you know? I liked early Overwatch 2 metas. I like double flex Winston stuff. Variety nowadays is okay outside of the Brawl tanks. Like my only complaint is on Brawl maps, like Orisa, Ram, whatever, just have such abusable push-pull iterations. I want more Hazard, you know, I want more Rhine, if we could pay, just to mix things up even. But, yep, it was Ball, Sigma, Zen, Brigitte, and then you'd play Echo, Hanzo, or Ashe. I think it was very map dependent. Batbrig, good in Brawl? No. It might be tolerable for some teams, but no. It might be played also as well. You have to keep in mind bans heavily impact what supports play right now in pro play. I think the most important thing that we've seen right now in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks of pro play in terms of bans have been the support bans. By far the most important.
For Sakura, so that takes away. I wouldn't say Ryan was like too much of a big threat, maybe towards the end. But initially, yeah, definitely. Initially, he was getting kind of rolled by Peas.
Doom Rush Die with Kiri Lucio. It's not bad. I don't find Kiri to be very fun to watch, though. I don't think she's a low skill character, but I don't find her fun to watch. I find Lucio, Ana, there's only a few supports that I really find fun to watch, so yeah. Cranberry juice and water, because cranberry juice straight is very, very sour.
Their time is week 5 and week 6, that is for sure. But if they get a win here, they're sitting at 3-2, which is firmly in middle table.
Yeah, there's a lot of no reg slashes with Hazard. I'm not gonna lie, guys, for a split second I thought that was an outhouse, and then I saw the fruit and I'm like, oh, that makes more sense. It's like, why is there an outhouse in this like super advanced society? Oh. Ana Lucio? Occasionally. We've seen situations where Brig wasn't as strong, or depending on the map. We've never seen a meta, to my knowledge, of those characters in a long time. There was certainly Ana Lucio metas in Overwatch 1 prior to Brigitte's release around Dive, because there just wasn't another support to play. Zarya, let's go. Does Astro have the Ram gene? Juno, Zarya also works nicely with Genji as well because of the Tracer ban. The Astro's going to go Ram, I think. So how does this matchup go? But the good news is even if they go Ram, you still have Bubble and Genji, which gives you some stuff to do. Getting close to Life River meta? I doubt it. I think there's a clear favoritism towards push-pull, and Life River still doesn't quite have the push part of the pull. You get what I'm saying? In terms of the speed boosting in and out, like you very rarely see something without a Juno or a Lucio trying to be played on most maps, so... But in ranked, maybe. Yeah, because ranked is a lot more static. Hit scan's way more popular and so on. Genji doesn't need to immediately kill stuff. Genji can pressure from a lot of off angles. Genji can shoot tank. Genji can pressure backline. Genji can force CDs. Genji doesn't just dash in and one-shot stuff. That's not how any character plays. That was a really poorly timed engage there from Sakura. That was like a 2v5. Burned bubbles, Genji's cooldowns. I don't know what the plan was there. That was really poorly set up. Brig is the most misunderstood here by lower ranks. Close. Kiri Brig, Diva, Mei. Kiri Brig, Diva, Mei. She's up there for sure. Symmetra, yep, good shout. That's a fat grab. Holy crap. Just clear swap. This would be the time to swap. You'd probably go Orisa versus this if you were going to swap. Okay, we're playing it out.
Dude, the damage you can do into the grab with the Freya is just unreal.
Oh no, they go Orisa. And then Astra's going to play for ult, and then Astra's going to swap Diva or Orisa, and probably Orisa, and the circle's complete.
Orbital ray, you're thinking that's going to be some healing to help keep us up, but the graviton surge sticks them in place, and the ray moves away from them, so they got no value from that. Clear now, moves over to the Orisa, recognizes that
Thank you, Master Monk.
not the duel they want to take, but getting value from that.
Low taper fade soon.
That's really allowed Sakura now.
We did a bit more of one. I'm probably getting a haircut soon, though. Nice. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Suffering, 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 suffering.
Now the annihilation is going to just rip through the rest of Sakura. Nice stuff there. I mean, initially Grapes and Cinnabar, they're trading rallies. They get a nice bash onto Peace, and Peace kind of stun locked as Orion just cleans
Frick,
up
man.
with a blade. That's the
Oh, boy. Buzzcut Spilo win. My wife would take me outside and beat me with a rubber hose.
and that is Supernova getting checkpoint, Johnny, unless Sakura can come back.
Yeah, it's been a back and forth through Nasapi so far. Both teams.
It's not just the survive. There's a lot of reasons why you see those tanks. The survivability is one of them. Their ultimate gives them more layering for more survivability, so that if there's ultimate to use, those tanks are built to survive them, but they're also really good at pushing and pulling. They can push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. Ryan can't. Not near as easy. He's more of a push, and then that's it.
It's back in the mid.
Yeah,
Yeah, look, Johnny. Freya, exceptional when she's comboed with any kind of slow movement impairing effect, and that
and it just also, yeah. The problem with Ram Orisa as well is that Ryan has been pretty decent in ranked at times for lower ranks especially, but Ryan has never really been very strong in higher ranks. Like never. Like not since Overwatch 2. He's been okay, but he's never been. So the problem is that there's an inherent bias towards playing, oh, this is a comfort pick for me. And Ram, Orisa's not super strong right now. Ram is pretty strong. Malga is also not very strong right now. But they've just been played a million times because they've had their oppressive windows. So, like, you have that... How did that ult miss? You have that inherent bias towards what's familiar, you know? Not to mention all the other reasons to play the character.
Ray from Renko does have Sakura scurrying for cover.
That's a big ultimate though.
Yeah, Queen hasn't been good, super good in a long time. Queen is also too skill-based, too inconsistent, and doesn't have a good enough matchup versus the other Brawl tanks.
5 minutes to go. I feel like Sakura should be really happy about the fact that we're looking at even meterage so far.
Yeah, big checkpoint take. Cinema goes a little bit low there. All good though. Bonus shot from Juicy could be set.
Frick, man.
Okay, ambitious is a word I'd use there. Yep.
For those of you guys that were following, Pepper went 4-0 at the Jiu-Jitsu tournament and got double gold.
There, Johnny. No overhealth at all built up from the Brigitte. There's a Sakura now. They can try and make some room. They end up taking away that.
Could Pepper beat Clear in the 1v1? I don't know what Clear looks like. It depends. She could.
Point, Johnny. If they manage to get it
Pepper is very strong.
to even up this map.
Yeah, Sakura with their opportunity now to run away with this map. You're going to get the cap.
So it's only a 4-0 because women's BJJ is notoriously really small, depending on what belt you're competing at. So it also depends on the tournament. Like even men's jiu-jitsu, sometimes can be really small for competitors. Like only have like 4 or 5 people competing. I think she only had like 4 people. I think there were 4 in each bracket. So I don't think she competed versus everybody, but she just swept.
Supernova have to counter it. They haven't got rally anymore. Grapes used it in the last fight. They're going to have to survive somehow.
But she's been training really hard, and also she's been working really hard and keeping training. Wow, what a beat! Training fun and relaxing. So we've been working really hard and just keeping training fun and community focused. And she's actually had done a really good job with keeping training training has been really fun for her recently, like really relaxing and enjoyable and process focused. And yeah, it's been really good. So this is going to be good for her. She's also competing at a purple belt now, so she's getting up there.
They don't have any ultimates. Renko's coming up on this orbital ray. But X10 sitting on this bola shot. They could be the
Yeah,
difference
so I'll tell her you guys said so. Juno ult. Ooh, it's always hard to fight uphill here. I actually don't mind that. Like, you maybe cause some chaos there. You're probably going to lose this fight because going uphill for Sakura is just impossible. But I think setting tempo in terms of opening, going first here, when you have map disadvantage, is actually pretty good. Because you're walking to a choke. You might as well see if you can maybe one-shot somebody really fast. Catch them off guard, you know? Otherwise, it just doesn't work. Because Orissa's meta while being in a bad spot. Just because I don't think Orissa's in a bad spot, to be clear. I think Orissa's okay right now. She's not as bad as she used to be. She got some pretty decent buffs recently. It's more about the fact that she's meta because she does too good versus the other brawl tanks. You get what I'm saying? Like, Orissa's problem, and why you see her so much, is her matchup versus other tank. Like, I think Ram's probably a stronger tank in a vacuum right now. But Orissa's just beats Malga in the mirror. And Orisa has a really good matchup versus Ramatra, too. You get what I'm saying? So she's like in this weird matchup to where Ryan as well. She doesn't counter Ryan exactly, but her matchup versus Ryan is good too. So like all the brawl tanks, with the exception of maybe Zarya, Orissa's just better. She's better than Queen. She's better than Ram. She beats Malga. She beats Ryan. She beats all of them. Her matchup in the 1v1, right? It's just so good versus those. Yeah, with the exception of Zarya, right? Who has not been meta for a long time, is very hard to play, and is countered by the other tank that Orisa counters, right? So you could see Clear is going to go Zarya here, but yeah, she destroys Malga. Especially nowadays, yes, absolutely. Javelin Spin denies health steal. Javelin's really good versus Malga. Fortify denies lifesteal. You can't lifesteal off of Fortified Orisa. And then also the ultimate is Fortify, so you deny lifesteal there as well. It's actually really impressive that Supernova have gone uphill here. Good try to steal, but yeah. So it's not just that Orisa's overtuned. Orisa's not super overtuned right now. She's super annoying. She's fine, but she just beats all the other competitors within her niche. So for Orisa to not be meta, you would need... Oh, yeah, and she's good versus Hazard, too. So there's just yet another freaking tank that she counters. So literally any other short-range tanks. For Orisa to not be meta in these maps, you need legitimately other tanks to be so overtuned that Orisa can't beat them. Or you need a completely out-of-pocket, like, dive map. Like, Orisa's not that good versus Winston. Orisa's not that good versus, like, Diva and stuff like that. So you need, like, a completely environmental shift. Sakura, oh, wow, they got the lead. They got the lead, chat. That's actually huge. Huge. On this map, this is a better map for Brawl, because it's pretty flat with a little bit of high ground. Yeah. And also, some of the supports that are stronger right now are more correlated with brawlier stuff. Yeah. Clear needs help. There's the Bola. Forces some CDs. Ooh, bubble block. Bubble on the Freya. Not good enough. They get the Orisa. If Clear can stabilize here, there's still a chance. A high charge Zarya is one of the most dangerous heroes in the game later in fights. Because she's not as cooldown reliant, and she does the most DPS of, I think, any tank. Like, reasonably. Yeah. So, like, Devolve fights, they were down one there. But freaking Zarya is nutso in those situations. Because her damage just scales. Even her bubbles, right? Like, when you, like, late in fights, you just want to kill bubbles. You don't have time to wait a bubble out. So, yeah, and they're going to go Ram, though. But the key thing is the support ults. If Sakura can live for Juno ult, again, it will be good. But I don't know if they can. Like, they're pumping damage right now. Vortex forces bubble. Speed ring is used as well. I don't know if they can keep him up. Oh, maybe Genji could have touched there instead. You need, oh man, you need the Juno ult on the Zarya. Damage boost and Zarya there kills. Huge for Supernova. Well played. No, it's not more DPS than Bastion, no. I don't think so. Yeah, well done. I agree, Lucas. I don't think you can make Ryan meta without being oppressive in lower ranks. You could eventually. Like, I think the problem is that, like, a little bit too much of his value is tied into his raw health pool and his shield. But yeah. Black belt and Taekwondo, nice. I mean, still, man, like, it's still useful, you know? I agree with you, Lucas. I wouldn't mind a Doom main. Meta. I wish they would do like a health check over Doom. Maybe shift some of his power into his slam, primary fire. Give him a burst. I keep asking for a burst heal in his ultimate, you know? So that, and then, I don't know. Doom meta would be really fun to watch. I agree. It would be another one of those rank problems where everyone wants to play Doom, but I don't know.
So they are safe to like make an aggressive push, make an aggressive like dash into the back line. But the Zarya just
Hazard's decent in brawl maps. He could have been played here. He was just banned. But he also has a bad matchup versus Orisa, Satan. So we'll see.
a Hail Mary attempt there from Sakura, but Supernova keeping their heads above water as we go on to the next map. Sakura now with their first map choice of the series.
Yeah, it's really tough there because
Sorry, Chad. I'm not
we were praising
answering the
the
question.
Zarya swap, right? Because you pick it into the Orisa, right? But then the counter Ramardra swap comes through.
Are hero protections the thing? No, but role protections are. If you get first ban and you ban a hero in a role,
And that's where
the other team can't ban the same hero in that role.
pickings for them. They recognize we can just run over this Zarya. You can't
Scorpion, we're good. We did sponsored coaching on Torbjorn Thursday, I think. And then we'll do sponsored coaching on Hazard on Tuesday.
I thought they did really well to play around clear Zarya.
I agree. Doomfist needs a bit of a soft rework.
So far, Supernova. You said it, Johnny. The comeback's real, but even you said it in that Rune of Sarp.
I'm really tempted. I'm thinking about doing a misunderstood heroes video where I cry for people, the developers, to understand Symmetra, Mei, Doomfist, and Bap. I think were the four that I would talk about. Because especially with Sim, Mei, and Doom, Bap has kind of been left behind, but it's not been like misunderstood. He's just been forgotten. But Sim, Mei, and Doom just sometimes feels like I really don't understand some of the development decisions of those three characters at times. It's so yeah, like I cannot physically understand why Doom still has 50 damage on his slam. I don't understand. It's like one of the only, there's only like, I think you can count on one hand the number of things that have not been buffed in Season 9 abilities. And for whatever reason, Slam has made that cut. I just don't understand why Slam is still 50 damage. Because his punch is so strong, it's not an answer. I mean, you know what I mean, right? Like, you know what I mean. Why? Nobody... And yeah, Symmetra is just a whole nother one where it's like, I actually think this might be a bit of a hot take. I think Symmetra is really close to being in a pretty decent state. I think Symmetra is really close. I actually think so much of her kit is redeemable with just a bit of tweaks. I don't think you need to buff Slam all that much either. Just like 70 damage or 65 or something like that, you know? Just make it viable, you know? Make it viable. And everybody hates Empowered Punch, right? Not everybody, but yeah. Does Doom possess one of the most annoying mechanics in the game with Empowered Punch? Yes. Yes. Right, there's so many things that I think, like, not even the Doom player enjoys all that much, you know? I think Doom is very similar, like a lot of the characters that are frustrating, where like the people that play Doom and the people that play versus Doom are kind of in agreement a lot of the time about what they like and don't like. I've talked about replacing block with uppercut. I don't think it would function. I think you still need to have block in some portion, because otherwise you just have DPS Doomfist all over again. He needs some form of mitigation, otherwise he would just explode.
Do you think does Illari need a complete rework at this point?
I think it's hubris to expect her to ever get a full rework, because I don't think she's popular enough to deserve a rework, if that makes sense. Like Sombra probably will get more work, maybe Doomfist will get more work because those characters are popular and therefore hated because they're seen, right? But nobody freaking plays Illari, you know what I'm saying? Nobody freaking plays her, so it's not likely to happen. What do you think Symmetra needs out of curiosity? I think it's an over-reliant... Okay, so there's this weird dynamic with Symmetra. I talked about it at length, but I'll talk about it again. I like talking about Symmetra. I think there's an over-reliance, a misunderstanding as well, of beaming off of inanimate objects, shields, and so on, to develop Tier 3 beam, which feels really oppressive to play versus. but it also feels completely unrealistic to build it up on any sort of a duel. I think Beam needs to tier up way faster and do lower damage. I think there needs to be perks or rotational stuff where you can actually level up your Beam through hitting alt fire. I think there needs to be more dynamics with how you use turret. I've talked about shield HP turret, not even joking. Turrets should give you 25 shields. So you have a turret, and they should probably also slow a little bit less as well. So you have the turret that gives damage. Turrets should do damage. They should show enemies, and they should give you over shields. And so you have 3 turrets, and you decide how to place them for scouting, for 1v1s, or for shield HP, for even support situations. I just think you could go really crazy leaning into a utility. You know what I'm saying? I think teleporter probably should be a little bit faster to cast, but should have a lot less HP. Not a lot less HP, but probably less HP, but pre-nerf, you know? Like, I think Symmetra has so many little things that you could toy with. You know, you could toy with what turrets do, what TP does, not necessarily what it does, how her beam functions, make it viable, like to track in 1v1s. Yeah. Yeah. I understand why they don't want to give 2 tap back with her orbs, but they need to allow beam to function in a 1v1 if you can track. I've had the idea that if you hit give her a perk, if you hit a fully charged secondary, you automatically charge up to level 2. I don't know if that would be broken or not. Maybe a major perk, but I mean, I find some fun to play when you play her correctly, you know, because you're not just sitting there beaming tank. It's not good. We did the whole fraud or freelo with Symmetra. Remember that? And we found the guy that said the Symmetra was easy, and he really struggled in Diamond, right? Because you got to be creative, but I think that they need to lean more into that. You know, there's more reward for the. Yeah, you need an advantage to win a duel with Symmetra. Like, you have to have a turret or chip them down, but it does feel tricky to do that. And there's just so much crap that they give her, like how much 3 turrets slow. It's just really not fun, right? And how much damage tier 3 beam does, or the shield regeneration, the HP regeneration when you're doing it on shields, right? Or freaking, honestly, this might be a hot take, but Simwall. I just think Simwall's a really frustrating ultimate to play into. And then also how much HP teleporter has. Like, it feels honestly unbreakable in some situations. There's just like a lot of like fluff that makes the character unfun to play into, and yet doesn't really bring much joy to the Symmetra either. Like, I feel like whenever you start with like what needs rework or change, what is not fun to play with and what's not fun to play into. With stuff that's fun to play as, it's always a little bit trickier, right? That's why conversations about like Sleep Dart and Nade with Honor are always tricky, because it's like, oh, it's fun, you know? But like the stuff that nobody likes, like that's just such a low-hanging fruit to start thinking about, I feel like. Nice ult. Keep in mind, Orisa bans here and Kiriko bans, so we'll have to see what we see here. Why do turrets even slow? I mean, because she's a defense character. That's why. She was, anyway. She's a defense character. You know, it's all the Overwatch 1 hero fantasy stuff. That's nonsense. She's a builder. She's a builder and a utility DPS. That's something that you can lean into. That's a hero fantasy that's fun. You know, a utility DPS that does unusual stuff with her turrets and her teleports, right? Cool, let's do it, you know? But why do the turrets have to slow? Well, because it should be painful to walk out of a choke into a Symmetra, right? But do we really want that? Is that really what we want to lean into? No, I'm responding to. I respond to YouTube chat. YouTube chat's just generally a little bit slower, so I sometimes forget to check. But I apologize if I miss anything. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about bans, I think Sarely's the mate to ask, because Sarely is chronically online. That's a joke. That's a joke. Sarely basically handheld the whole Lifeweaver project. Got me all the replay codes.
normally to get a kill. So a kill on Tbilisi is
I should be really careful about insulting you. Especially when you just spoon fed me the Life Weaver analysis. Saved me like 20 minutes. It's crazy how spot on you were about Freya's perks. Man, it's alright. I'm not always right about stuff, but 50% overhealth scouting, like, yeah.
would be two. Full armor on Grapes is looking good, looking rather strong there in the front line.
Yeah, true Arcadium, yeah.
Just by that rally, although the orbital ray is going to help.
Life Weaver project, we did something on Thursday. We went through and like broke down, was it Thursday or Tuesday? We broke down, I think it was Tuesday. We broke down all the high level like Life Weaver play and why she's being played. Why he's being played. I was looking at Diva. Why he's being played, strategies with his positioning, cooldowns, and so on. And then I got my Life Weaver to Masters, which, you know, I won one game. Yeah. Sims turrets function? I think the shield health would just be really cool, man. I don't think you want healing turrets. We have enough of that, but like, just give overhealth, you know? Enter fights with 25, 30, whatever, however many health, you know? Giving you an advantage in 1v1s. Maybe I'm being too, I don't know. That's just like an initial gut response. I'm not married to that idea, but like, I mean, I really like what they did about the, like, I'm being a negative Nancy, but the whole scouting aspect of turrets is so freaking cool. Like, that's actually so useful. Such a creative use of it. It makes coaching the character and playing the character so much more fun. The current implementation that they did, you know? So creative. I agree. I think that they have to nerf the walk perks on her. I think that they absolutely need to nerf the walk perks, at least the threshold. Ideas for May? Honestly? Kind of, sort of. I think May... I mean, most of my suggestions for May I already did in the perk fixes idea. I give them a lot of ideas for perks for May. I thought they were good. Freezing floor, using your wall jump, which I won't take credit for that one. That was Gavin's idea, which I thought was really cool. Changing how her ult functions as a damage boost, and it's not a permanent freeze. Explosion on exiting ice block of damage. There's so many things they can do with May, and that's just like a first iteration, you know? I actually don't even hate the whole rolling ice block thing. I don't know if it should boop, but the thing that they have from Stadium, give her a little bit of, I mean, hey man, mobility watch is freaking fun, you know? And yet they freaking give her freeze, and a slow and an alt fire. I just am completely baffled by that. BAP just has utility that doesn't work in Overwatch 2. It's AoE sustain, which is really, really tough. It's also kind of boring, but it's also just not good. Like, there's a reason why we don't see BAP really anymore. Layers, 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 layers. You guys saw the layering there? Yeah, I just find it really funny that they talk about how they've like addressed CC in Overwatch, and this has been a good hold from Sakura, or from Supernova, sorry. But I think BAP also has a lot going for him, though. I think, yeah. Is the Reaper Rework still coming? I don't think so. Hey, Soren. Yeah. I think BAP's perks are okay. It's more they just... I don't think... For some characters, I think the kit's okay, but I think the perks suck. For other characters, I think it's the opposite. I think BAP's the opposite. I think his perks are okay. Like, I understand that they're not amazing, but, like... I think, like, the Exo Boots jump thing is pretty cool. Reworking how his regenerative bursts is alright. You know, giving some other little tweaks here and there are kind of neat. Not terrible. Problem is there's still regenerative burst and it's still immortality field. Astro's close. Astro's gonna let it rip. Let it rip. Let it rip, Papa. Oh. Nice. Notice he's using the regenerative block. I told you guys that perk was freaking good. I had a conversation with a recent hazard session I was doing. We were talking about like how good that perk is, and yet I don't see a lot of people using it. I think it's just because it's not as fun, you know? Yeah. And I think Reaper's in an okay state for right now. His perks are pretty good. His faster TP is pretty good. He's still Reaper, but I don't think he's terrible right now. 50% of anything is broken? I disagree, man. Has to be... there's only a handful of DPS or supports that actually works on. Rallying Brig is the only thing besides the tank that you're going to get extra 50% damage. And keep in mind, it's only 40 more damage. It's not... I like that perk if there's Cast May or Reaper. Maybe SM as well. But there's none of that here. So I think the other one... Like, you're getting 50% more block resource off of one hit. And by the way, it doesn't expire. When they hit the wall, it never expires. You keep that until you use all of your blocks. Because when you block next, it doesn't actually burn your temporary block. It uses your permanent block. So you might keep that 50% until you actually need it, literally 2 minutes later. No, I'm not talking about the lifesteal. I'm talking about the block. The jump distance, I think, is 100% better than the lifesteal most of the time. I don't think is it 50. Is it 50% block? I thought it was 50%. I'll have to check the actual amount, but I'm pretty sure it's not. It's more than. It's definitely not 15%. But yeah, it never expires. I'll show you guys in practice range after this. Remind me. No, I don't think it caps at 50%. Okay, got it. But because you're not expending that block resource early, they leave the Freya trade. Ah, man, I don't know about that rotation. I think you need to take a little space with your DPS first. I'll show it to you guys at the practice range. What I mean. Yeah, it's for Aqua rework. Yeah, I freaking hate his tsunami ability, where like the entire map is just completely washed away. It's completely imbalanced. I don't know. I just think distance on leap is so good. It's also speed on leap, if I remember correctly. Like, you close the distance pretty quickly. Nice piece. His heavy rain shift? Agreed, dude. Who freaking thought it would be a good idea to just obfuscate your entire screen with rain, you know? Have to freaking put rain X on my monitor, you know? Destructible maps? Shoot. Dang it, guys. Dang it. They learned their Marvel Rivals lesson, and now I've exposed it. An internal cooldown for freeze with May, yeah. Buff water types. And I love that Sakura is being so freaking aggressive on this cross. Miserable. Even on the missed shots, like there's AoE damage. It's like so much. Oh my gosh. Jeez, dude. All of a sudden, like every now and then, they just go to Ryan's POV, and this fricker just toggles, man. Like wait, they actually respond. They're about to lose a 5v3. They blew everything to get the kill. Do you know anything about Aqua yet? I don't know. I mean, I playtested him. I've playtested him twice, actually. I playtested him back in November, I think. Or, yeah, it might have been December. So I don't know what's been said or not. I'll gladly comment on anything that's been publicly said, but... Is he fun? Yeah, he's fun. Alright, Supernova gets the cap here. Everything has been sped? Nah, man. I've been good with my NDA. I've been pretty quick with it. I've not made any mistakes. I'm keeping the perfect record. Yeah, I playtested him. Yeah, I playtested a lot of stuff back in December. They invited me and me and Yeetle, SK, a couple other people for like a serious feedback round. It wasn't just like a content creator thing. We did a lot of extensive play tests with a lot of stuff. Play tested perks, Overwatch Classic, the whole 9 yards. Play tested Hazard. Me and Yeetle in the Hazard mirrors. It's really fun. Do you think it'll be healthy for the game? Not saying. Probably gives too much information away. Not going to say. You have to wait and see. One time can't hurt? No? No. DPS support is a word you enjoy, yeah? Kind of. I mean, I kind of. Like, I really like playing Juno and Brigitte a lot, and I wouldn't describe them as exactly DPS supports. I mean, they're pressure supports, like all supports, but... Overwatch Classic, yeah. Yeah, I mean, DPS Doomfist is crazy, man. It is all or nothing, for sure. Did Hazard feel much different? No. Basically, our feedback for Hazard was maybe his block resources too much, but other than that, please don't change him. He's so much freaking fun to play. And so he was released basically no changes. Because he was freaking amazing. He was so much fun. We play tested Freya a little bit, but she was really hard to play on pickup. Friends don't got me over to your biggest attracted me. Take the filter off all this. Shut up, Zane. Do I suspect I'll enjoy aqua coaching? I will not say. Leak it, they won't know. So now you think his kid is boring? Yes, absolutely. A lot of ults coming up. This fight might be a bloodbath here. They're gonna probably play it till they get rally here, but I guess not as many for Supernova. I like the Genji marking from Peace. Oh! Tie him up! Why? How? We just... What? That's like... He just keeps doing it. Oh my gosh. Did they get feedback from them? I mean, I think they do. They have... I'm you know, coming off of the complaints about Sim and May. The reason why I'm irritated about it is my expectations are way higher. So, you know, without going down to all the details and having to think about everything, I can be honest with you guys, they're way more receptive to feedback. Not just in terms of like, oh, we're listening, you know, like corpo. Like, changes have been made off of feedback about hero design, balance, perks, early iterations of some game mode feedback. Like, they're very aggressive with following feedback, especially if it's good quality feedback, I will say. So, yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of, and so I'm, like I said, the reason I get grouchy about stuff is because, like I said, my expectations are higher because they just are so much better at it. So, no, they definitely work pretty hard at that. And trust me, I'm not gonna call, you know, I'll call it like it is. I try to call a straight shot whenever I can. It's why I know they've done some like you guys seen the advertisement stuff where like they did like some promo stuff with like flats and SK, the hashtag ad thing. I don't take any money from Blizzard. They've offered, because they have, all the games have like sponsorship things. Rivals did it a lot. Every game that I've worked with, they'll like sponsor certain streamers. I think recently I was watching Fightin' Cowboy, got sponsored by Namco, whatever, for Night Rain. You know, I don't take anything from Blizzard because I want to be able to say that like I can tell you guys my full opinion, right? So they've offered to sponsor me in some stuff, and I've denied because I want to be able to. So when I say that, you guys can take my word for it. Bandai, sorry. Now, I'm not going to lie with you. Once you spend some time within a game and get to, there is a certain amount of like I know Gavin, like I've been able to spend, so there's definitely, I'm going to cut them more slack because I know them a little bit more as people. So there's definitely a conflict of interest with that. I'm not going to lie with you guys. Like, but I also don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Like, I treat them like human beings. I appreciate the work that they do, but I'm going to call balls and strikes. Like that's kind of where I'm saying. So I'm going to be respectful, but I'm going to be, you know, honest if I don't really like something, you know. So when I say like they have listened to feedback, I'm being honest. When I say that I'm still very disappointed about some of their hero design choices, yeah, and they know that too. You know, I'm pretty sure that like they're aware. So it doesn't mean I'm always right either. I got freaking tilted. This was like 6 or 7 months ago. Somebody accused me for being a shill, dude. I was like, bro, I've got the freaking receipts. Don't you freaking talk to me about that. I lose money when I play test because they'll obviously like pay for my flight or whatever to go there. Like, but I can't coach or work, you know. So, delete having to delete Widowmaker, yeah. That were changed based on feedback. So one thing I have talked about with this is like a minor example, but Freya had a change with her perk where her passive where she had to kill a specific target for ult charge to have the whole like bounty hunter, and we were very negative about that. I thought it was really gimmicky and it would change like how the game fundamentally played in a really awkward, uncomfortable way, and lower rank players would do really bad at it. They changed that. This is crazy, man. Supernova, this came so freaking close, man. We gave a lot of feedback about like what we wanted from perks in terms of playstyle adjustments, in terms of skill choices. A lot of hero design feedback about like what type of hero designs feel good and what feel bad, and like general principles. I mean, a lot of perk things, a lot of rework things. If you go back to my early hero rework stuff and look at stuff like Ram's Vengeful Vortex, if you look at like Fire Stack projectile speed, if you look at like I'm trying to think, there's like the Tracer perk nerf, the reducing the amount of blinks. I'm literally just going down the list here. Winston alt fire recovery time. Zarya verticality off of alt fire. Like these are like things that we've been talking about for years, right? So, and that's just my feedback. Like, jeez, man. What comes to Iron Fist of Overwatch?
Super adamant about Sakura just being like the team, like so good.
Yeah. So the content creator thing was, I just had to keep. The Megan goes around and, you know, she looks for people that are representing the community, either bigger content creators or representing the community well. You don't have to necessarily be a huge content creator. I mean, I certainly wasn't, but and yeah. But I don't really know the system or process, to be honest with you guys. There was also a lot of feedback about like the ban implementation and stuff like that. So yeah, they're very receptive to feedback for most stuff. They definitely have a straight vision, so they're not going to follow everyone's advice. And obviously a lot of advice is conflicting, right? Like I think a classic example is like what I tried to do with the whole Mercy discussion recently, where like there's a lot of Mercy players and there's a lot of some Mercy haters, and we tried to find some common ground. So you weren't? Okay. No, I'm still not very big. I don't need, but I'm happy with the work that I do, and that's all I really care about. You seem like a hunter. Is it the hair? No, I'm not a hunter. I thought Hunter was, when I was a kid, dude, Hunter was such a cool name, dude. What was the earliest hero you play tested? Venture. First content creator summit. Wall climb can work again. The more I realize about wall climb, the more I realize that ability is just super hard. I don't like my name all that much. I don't hold it against my parents, but every single sport or whatever I did, there was always another Jacob, and I was like, eh. It's kind of funny. I don't like my name, and I don't like my wife's name. I have a lot of negative associations with the name Bethany, and she's the same way. So we like didn't like her. It was like really funny. It's really funny. She didn't like her name. She didn't like Jacob. Yeah, we didn't play test Maga. I sent a message. Yeah, write it again, Fragrance Man. I'm sorry, I must have missed it. Can you just copy it? I look like a tanner. That is insulting. That is insulting. Saying I look like a tanner, I don't appreciate that. Calling you Jake. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not offended by it. You can call me whatever you want.
Like, okay,
Just don't call me Tanner.
they're banning that Zarya. Are you guys picking this? Is that mental warfare? Like, what's going on there? Because Zarya is like obviously not being played.
Caleb? That's my brother-in-law's name who got me into Overwatch.
Clear, can't really play too many main tanks, and
Preston.
Zora was a little mental blocked by Zarya. So we've been playing Zarya a little bit in their scrims.
Where would I do that? I have questions already. You can message me in Discord. You can message me in Discord, Fragrance Man. I don't respond to questions super fast because I get a lot of them per week. But I generally try to respond about once every week or once every 2 weeks.
Think about your next match. Like, you're against SSG.
Now, Tanner is just like a generic name. I'm just being weird about it.
You guys punching up, and you're high.
Just change it to Jakob.
Like, you look good. You look
Jakob.
clean, especially on the Genji.
Slowly doxing Spylo. Man, I got a Wikipedia. You guys can know my first and last name. That's not exactly a secret.
I feel like they've been slacking a little bit. We're not like the best scrimmers, but I think we're more of a match day team. Like, we show up a lot of match day. I don't know if you guys had commented or anything, but like, I was streaming, Clay was streaming, my backline was saying.
Okay. Interesting dice. Interesting dice. I'd ask you what your name is, but that might be pushing. Love the stream, Tanner. Dude, you guys don't understand why I don't read YouTube chat. How'd you get the name Spylo? I just made it up when I was a kid for my Lego sets. I was like 9 or something like that. Do you like the name Bartholomew Indifferent?
Especially your rotations as a team. Like, who comes up with those ideas? Who would you say like is the primary caller behind some of those rotations? Because especially
What is the name of Jacob and Bethany in 2025? Caden or this is the ins. Everything ends in an N. Burden, Broden, Godin, Joden, Scumden, Poopden.
so who's coming up with those ideas?
Mostly clear.
Gilgamesh, Remy, Habsburg,
On the fights.
Jaden, yeah.
And Z, it's a mix of clear and Z. They're like mostly the IGL. I just call
DM. You can DM me. Yeah, you can DM me. If you're in my Discord server, mine will be at the top, and you can just find my name and message me.
No, teamwork makes the dream work, and that teamwork was on full display today. Peace, however.
Soren, great question. I don't know. I honestly have not put enough thought about it. I probably should.
Congratulations! Yay! The award means nothing, but people still get excited, and I love that.
That's a great question. I like the way that you're thinking about it, Soren. You're thinking more about uptime, but
Give them anything. Like, it's just like it's like a verbal award. I don't
the
know.
problem though is that if they, yeah, I don't know.
Peace. What does it mean to you?
Can I DM me for no reason? You can. I might not respond.
because like
Or names that are spelled uniquely too. Yeah, exactly.
what I recently I got 11, I got 12, amplify with PG. And
Cheers, Sucker Punch. Yes, my middle name. My middle name is my dad's name. I have a very schoolish name. Can I ping you for no reason? No.
Okay, you know what? I'll take everything back.
sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Marta flew a lot of practice. I don't have any secrets to my shortcuts. I've coached the game for 10, 11, 12,000 hours in the last 6 or 7 years. Yeah, 7 years. Over 7 years.
And like cast
Just a lot of time. A lot of time.
a little pat on the
Thinking,
back.
coaching it competitively. Not just private coaching. I think a lot of my theory is from more team coaching stuff that I didn't apply to my individual name.
In your match
Name me after my uncle's girlfriend for a second name. Interesting.
joining us.
of course I'll be back here next week.
Can I DM you the back of my credit card? Yes, you can. Great choice.
Can't wait to see you again.
No, you're good, Fragrance Man. Is exclamation mark Discord? Try exclamation mark Discord. See if that works. It might have expired. I might have to fix that.
The most fun teams to watch.
Are your stream replays no longer on YouTube? There was a stream I want to watch from last week.
Characters
No, they're there.
also
One stream I had to end early. Just check the live tab, Daniel.
that middle of the pack team, right? Like they're the ones who can punch upward
Do any pro coaches come to you for a second opinion?
of the top teams.
For strategy stuff? No, not really anymore. That was never a thing, though. Overwatch coaches do not... There's no community in Overwatch coaches. Maybe there's like a social community, but there's no like swapping of strategies. Not at least in the West. Almost not at all. My entire time in Contenders in Overwatch League, I didn't know of any coaches like brainstorming strategies or theory. Complete isolation. Complete isolation. So much less so now that I'm out of the pro scene.
It's probably going to a map number 5. It's going to be a problem.
I'll bring the copium. Maybe Nightmare
for
and
whom?
GK.
Are you aware of any coaches to make videos about coaching? No.
SSG, they've been
You just weren't invited to the group sessions? I also just didn't have a lot of respect for other Western coaches. Like, I think I can count on my thumbs the amount of Western coaches that I had a lot of respect for at the time. I think Western coaches kind of stunk, no offense. I think it was also just the nature of video game coaching and pro Overwatch being kind of new and so on. But There's no 14-4 meaning clinking glasses dosing. No. No. None of that, Stefano. Zachary says Jacob makes a lot of sense, low-key. Okay. You didn't like Christopher? I said on my thumbs. And also, I had no interaction with Christopher before he was on London, so he doesn't really count. He was coaching in Korea. Do I feel drained doing Overwatch content for so long? Sort of, kind of. There's been a lot to talk about recently, so not as much. But I am seeking dynamics in my own work-related space. You still don't respect any coaches. I didn't say that was necessarily the case. Do you ever watch other coaches? I coach other coaches, yep. I haven't done as many public sessions of that recently, but I still do them private occasionally. And there are a lot of them on, I have a Coaching the Coach playlist where there's a lot of them. I did the whole National Association for Esports Colleges and Directors last year. The NACAD, the Collegiate and High School Coaches Seminar. They asked me to run the Overwatch version over in Minnesota. That was really fun. I managed to barter with them to do it, post it publicly, and that's still on YouTube for any of you guys that are interested in coaching or team coaching. I did the full seminar for that. They asked me to do it again this year, but I declined because I've already traveled like 5 or 6 times this year. But I believe it's in Missouri for those of you guys that are interested. Wait, what did I miss? Now we gotta start Overwatch teams. That's true. Big coach is a problem, yeah. Yeah, I was like, well, the thing is the coaching seminar was going to be like a paid subscription thing. And I was like, guys, first off, NACAD, I don't know anybody that's not actively in the team that knows about you guys. I have like 50K subs or whatever. I will post, let me post it publicly. I will promote, you know, the service that you guys do because it's cool. It's really cool. Like, it's a really good supportive community. They did a great job. The whole seminar, not just my section, but the whole thing was really cool, really great. I was like, dude, let me promo it. Let me show you, because this is a way too valuable of a resource. Because it wasn't just me. It was also I was able to get Askoff. You guys might know Askoff, the French coach, who I really respect. And so I think the whole seminar. Obviously, I'm biased, a little bit of ego here. I think there was a lot of good info, I think, in there. This woke liberal spiral, man. Tristan, it's unlisted, but it's playlisted up, yeah. So if you were digging around the Winston playlist, you could find it. The live coach versus coach J3 did where 2 coaches guided 2 teams to see which would win. I did not see that. I've had people ask me about that whole thing, but dude, I hate the whole... I don't know. Some people you coach wish or not have their session publicized. I mean, you can choose public or private. I've had some people make the mistake and go, oh no, I didn't know it was going to be public. Can you private it? And I'm like, yeah, sure, it's fine. GOG. Woklo. Oh no, bitrate tanked. 501. 531, 501. Why is my bitrate tanking? I liked what you were saying about burst mobility. Definitely true. He's perishing. Don't even listen to anybody that tells you that mobility isn't banger. I challenge you to watch one trailer, hero trailer or whatever, that doesn't involve crazy flips and climbing and jumping and flipping and mobility. Go ahead. That isn't Sigma. Okay, that doesn't count. No way. He got him to 1%? What boss was it, Stefano? And dude, Iron Eye is freaking broken. Every run that I've seen has basically permanently had Iron Eye. It just feels like the freest, easiest DPS plus mark. It's just like free DPS, easy mark, really easy to get decent weapons. You're not as like needy for specific weapons. You just need like a halfway decent bow.
Yeah, cool. Swedish fish. I've not won in about 10 years.
That being said, though, I don't like Swedish fish.
Okay, you guys know what I mean.
I don't like them either. The
Are they actually Swedish? I mean, they're okay, but
Yeah, they were originally made by.
Oh, the sideways mouth guy,
Someone.
the vacuum cleaner.
let's go.
Either way,
Yeah, I've seen freaking Iron Eye everywhere, man.
educated, obviously.
He just seems like
trading
really
Swedes coming
high DPS with the mark.
Overwatch, so let's chat about that. The GK going up against Team
Really low risk, really consistent. His ult's like whatever. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good early on. It's consistent if nothing else.
the game against Supernova, against Sakura, and against the
I will never coach League of Legends. I will let Stefano tell me why I should not get into League of Legends. Last night we were hanging out, and Stefano goes, yeah, every League of Legends person I've ever known is just like a really miserable person. I was like, yeah, that's actually true. So, no.
performances, right? They've not really been pushed.
Yes,
Roadhog and Junkrat Cinematic.
their final match.
Roadhog and Junkrat Cinematic don't have a lot of mobility. Exactly. 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 That's my point. But I coach Dota, I've never played.
This team, despite Zera being on Team Liquid, who they're playing today, they've kind of looked the same. They still look very dominant. WMIMO stepping in and being like, hey,
So no League of Legends is like I don't think I will ever play League of Legends.
don't see them
Ever.
being nervous going into this at all, even though Zera is on the other side.
Would I coach Lord of the Rings online? Probably. I mean, I did word coaching a long time ago for the class I played, but I haven't really played in a long time, and I would be unable to coach other aspects.
So usually I'm making
We're talking about Night Rain.
there are maybe 3 lines for this match.
Hey, hi, girl. Look.
It was like 3 lines.
Hi.
But like, hey, we know what this.
Hi.
We know what this
Your
was.
beard is wet. Have you been drinking water?
I think Knife really stepped it up
Hi.
for them as well as Tree. I think they really were some bright spots there. Obviously, we know and love.
Katu!
This is a good squad.
Queen of Dice says hi.
That last week was
She is indifferent to your existence. Yeah, I think the macro of League is amazing. I'm sure the game itself is amazing. I just feel like, yeah.
hoping a little hard here as a Liquid fan. But
What change would you
I
make
just
to
don't think
Ryan?
it's indicative.
I wouldn't mind a little bit more move speed with shield and a little bit less shield.
Don't use big words when you can't.
Um,
Have you learned nothing? No, but like it was really not representing what we.
I think the big thing was the fire strike projectile speed.
Like
It was crazy. Like you said as well, like we were talking about Chronic that entire time. Like the guy was just flattening people, and it was like, well, Tree's like,
You know what I'm saying?
Freya in North America, like one of the best. And it
So I don't think I would make any major changes to Ryan. I think more about the brawl tanks that surround him more than anything else.
hopefully just an outlier. Hopefully today is a real test for both of these teams.
Oblivion dialogue. Your beard is wet. Have you been drinking water?
So, gentlemen, please take it away and walk us through the map set.
Yes, thank you very much, Zoe. Yeah, Johnny.
Stefano Tektra says he will be around at like 8 after 8. What is your availability today?
Push. They got what, like 6 meters, 7 meters, or something. Like it wasn't a good look. They got no points on New Junk City. Like
I'm so freaking hungry.
pretty scary for them coming into
Gonna eat another horse.
themselves again.
I always end up eating horses. I don't know why it's not like cattle or a cow or a hippo. I don't know why. Why is it a horse? I think it's a phrase, right? Like I could eat a horse. I think it's as in like I don't want to eat my horse because I'm a cowboy and I'm riding on my horse. But I'm so hungry that I might actually have to eat it. And I can't imagine a horse would taste all that good.
Showed a few things. They inspired us.
Whatever commentating an Overwatch LAN event, yeah, I'd consider. I don't think I'd be very good at it. I think the ability to, I mean, I could be good at it, but I don't think I would just be able to immediately pick it up. I think it's harder than it looks.
I think this is
Easiest, best way to get into esports, get really freaking good at the game, and then start trialing for different teams. But there's really no hack way to get to esports if you're just not, like, really freaking good at the game. Like, every single person in this lobby has reached top 10 at least. Actually, no. Every person in this lobby has reached rank 1. Yeah, so, I mean, like, if you're not really freaking good mechanically at this game, like, that's just the starting point, you know? Horse meat's all right. How do you guys know this? You guys are sick. You're around? You're sick? Oh, no. Is it, like, cold? Fever? Cold is not too bad. Chat and YouTube. Hydrate. Stretch your legs. That's actually true. I do need to stretch my legs. I need to stop.
all in from Liquid. They tried to stall out the point and not do the mistakes we saw in the last series where Liquid gave up the point. But because of that, like the dive is a little.
Do you ever do redesigns happening for more of the old heroes? I do. Yeah, I do. I don't think it will necessarily happen for Ryan, who I think is okay. Ryan's okay. Ryan needs some tweaks here and there, but Horse, gator, bison, lamb, kidney, and balls. Pretty good. I've only had bison out of those, and bison was pretty good. Like, big old beefy cow, you know? I mean, it kind of tastes with how it looks, but maybe that's just me. Wow, Admiral just got launched. You could eat Spylo? That is setting the bar pretty low. I feel like I taste like gamey. I don't know what it tastes like. This is a really uncomfortable conversation. They're the number 1 consumer of horse meat. Okay, well, there you go. There's no response. It's the same thing as real life. Action leads to criticism. People always criticize people that do things. The backseat gamers never do anything and they take no risks. That's the Twitter bots, the haters. They never do anything. They don't give no risk. Never do anything with their life, and so they criticize. Poor infected. Yeah. Ever had Elmer's glue? I have not. I was not the kid that ate random crap. I always thought that kind of stuff was weird. Rip bit rate. Yeah, sorry guys. That was a Tanner question. Shut the frick. Dang it, guys. Oh man. All right. Geek cooking. Geek is such a weird name. It's very like an Australian name. They just like Australia just is like, you know what's a very normal word? Let's make it as weird and silly as possible. Like, give me a word, guys, and I'll astrolify it. I did not mention pencil erasers. Crikey, yeah. So, no, you guys are failing the objective here. Astrolabe, Star Bonnet, Star Bobby. It's like British, you know, like weird, like, but then they just like turn it up, they dial it up, you know, like an extra 15%, and they just add like some random vowels in there. Like Geek has no need to have that many vowels in there. There's like 3 in a faker, you know. Zoinks. Am I the kid that says Frick all the time? Okay, so here's a fun story about Frick. Frick, I think I was saying Frick ironically in stream and it just kind of stuck. Yeah. Now you want a burger? They bought beef in 2013? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Yeah, but like McDonald's is macas, you know? It's like weird. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me a little bit of occasionally like New England, you know, like Northeast America. Weird pronunciation guy. Am I up for the one best of 100? Yeah, absolutely, dude. Hit me up in like 10, 15 years. And if the characters still exist, then yeah. There's the block resource.
Still like juggling the point out. Now, recommitting in the fight here when Infected's back. They have the Kitsune Rush advantage, but a great EMP from Lethal could stop.
No, I don't. I generally don't. I don't swear. Personal choice, but frick, my Chungus life. Case in point. That's okay. He got what he wanted. Suzu beat. Admiral gets Ajaxed. That's tragic. Am I a football soccer fan? I am not, but I greatly respect the sport. Kufa? I think it's Kuffa. I mean, that's my point exactly. Kuffa. That is an Australian name, and guess what? He's Australian. Coincidence? I think not. Dude, literally, I could go through Australian contenders players, and you could find, like, a good 20% of them just have random, just like Australian sounding names. I need to go back through in the list here. There's like a couple of them. Frick, who are Unter, Frogger. No, there's like there was a no. There's even more so than that. Shoot, I'd have to go back to like 2019, man.
Yeah, it is approaching here. Infected, dropping the mines as well. Liquid, just trying to buy time for a pick, and RuPaul finds one, but he goes down.
Oh, but RuPaul ends up going down though. A little boop kill from Admiral. Will end up trading. That's a really
Not
good
Cuffer,
situation.
no.
DK, they can potentially just move in here. This damage is going to be almost permanent. Although infected.
Liquid holding on. This is a good map for ball. Okay, yeah. Well, I cursed that.
From the spawn, infected not counting on Legal being so close to him, but that pulse bomb not even required there from Zera as cover.
What would be Australian Spilo?
A rush onto the point guarantees GK the actual cap.
Ooh.
99% for Team Liquid. They're going to be able to build up ults though, Johnny. They've got a lot of time to see them through the rest of this round.
Yeah, they do have a lot of time, and they actually find a
Spiller.
here as well. This could be go time for Liquid.
Spila. I think Spila sounds about right.
So just neutral kills there from Tree and the rest of the team.
Spoli.
They get a free cap as well.
Beat engage. Gets 3. EMP's still here. Do Geekay need more? Do Geekay need more? Do Geekay need more? Here it comes. 3, 2, 1. EMP. Gets a good one. It's a good one. Hits a Tracer. Hits the ball. That's a kill on ball. Tracer is also not able to do anything with that. I called that perfectly within 7 seconds. Spildo. Best Danish player right now. Ooh. Chat, name Danish players if you can, and I'll tell you my opinion. I've worked with a lot of Danish players, but I don't think any of them are active anymore. Calix, maybe? Is the one that comes to mind. Freya. Ay. Shockwave, Kellex, Slay. That's right, Slay is Danish as well. Kaffa, let it rip, Papa. Let it rip, my son. Let it rip, my son. Let it rip. Rip it, Kaffa. Rip it. That was a good try. Naga? I think Naga is... No, is Naga Norwegian? Is Naga or Naga Danish? KSA. Close, but... no cigar. I've worked with a lot of Danish players now that I think about it. Maybe it's the most populous EU country that I've worked with. I think Calix, Molfig, Slay, Shax, Booty. It doesn't really count, but Fisher, Naga, okay, Danish. Spulu. That's right, Spulu. My boyfriend is a big fan of watching the stream right now. Shout out Marcus, my tank main who puts up with my Mercy plays. Shout out to Marcus or Machus. I don't know. Marcus sounds so. Marcus just sounds like way scarier. I'm just gonna pretend it's Marcus. That's definitely an Australian name, Marcus, right there. Yeah, exactly. Shout out Marcus. If you're a Roadhog player, I pray in your downfall. But I guess if you're a Roadhog player, you wouldn't have a girlfriend. So, New Zealander, thank you so much. That's great. Shout out to New Zealand. All my best mates are from New Zealand. Freaking Color Hex. Who else is in New Zealand? Frick, why am I blanking? One of my best coaching mates was from New Zealand. I've worked with him for a long time. Shoot, why can't I remember? Dude, I'm getting... My brain is rotted. Chat, you guys know this. No, oh yeah, August. I got to hang out with August and the Content Creator Summit. August was really nice. Roadhog Reinhardt? It's not too late, Mersh. It's not too late. It's not too late. Noxious. That's who it was. Noxious. Why didn't I know that? Good old Matthew. I remember his real name. I can't remember his stupid gamer tag. Noxious, August, Checks. Yeah. August represent. Yeah, August is a good mate. Well, that's unfortunate. And now Marcus, that's right. It actually makes sense that a Roadhog player would be a Kiwi, you know? Kind of, it's close. He's got the Islander skin, yeah? That's not exactly New Zealand, but it's also not exactly Australian either, so. The commentator guy? I don't think Hunter's New Zealander. Freaking Hunter. If Hunter was New Zealander, he'd be so much more polite. What is Somra's job this match? Somra's job this match is to play the high ground above point or the cage off to our infected's right and use the mini health back or the verticality to apply pressure onto either the tank line or the back line. So he got caught staging there looking for backline and now he's freaking dead. That's unfortunate. But the reason Somra's being played here is because there's either really strong health packs and or the verticality allows Somra to play around Tracer Freya ball, which otherwise Somra might just get run over. It's pronounced Machis. Alright, that's alright. That's not too bad. Well, cheers to Machis. Tell us the tale. What did you say last night, Stefano, that had me crying at the end? I was so freaking funny. It's close to Maori? Yeah. Closer. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Somra's matchup versus Freya is good too. Oh, let's see. What did I tell you about the Somra positioning? Verticality, verticality. Now that was an interesting translocator. Yeah, super annoying. Bro, I don't know, okay? Like, I'm not cultural in my pronunciation. I'm cultural in my knowledge and personality. I'm universal. Wow, Liquid just really dominates this, man. They were that's crazy. Maori? Mr. Worldwide. Yeah, exactly. To all of us chanting free Sombra? Yes, maybe. Freak, dude. Wait, do you guys remember my white people at the Overwatch convention YouTube short? Hang on, I gotta find this. Hang on. I feel like I'm living this right now. Wait, where is it? Check PGE stream? Why? Is it just PGE? I don't know if I follow him. I feel like I should, but I don't. What's PGE stream's name? PGE 4. He's phone streaming. That's crazy. Okay, let's see if I can find the YouTube short here. Wow, some of these actually got some views. Some of these old ones. Wait, where is it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there it is. Hang on. I was pretty, here you go.
Play Wrecking Wheel and
Wait, no.
Guys, we get to play Wrecking Wheel and Esperanza. Maybe some Elari on Pariso. Some Hanzo and Colossio. And now time for Bridget on Achenbaldi. Time to play Moria on Chateau Gallard. And some Cat Creed, dang libs, deathmatch on Castillo. Oh boy.
Wait, what did I just do? Oh, I turned to the wrong scene. Oh, yeah. That was an old one.
Some teams they prefer to stay away from Liquid playing the wrecking ball and favor all themselves.
Dang libs.
Which could be a good bet for just that, right? If you think that Liquid they're at their best when they play the wrecking ball,
I forgot how that short. Yeah. Some of them are pretty funny. There was the one. Wait. There was another one that I saw that was getting views because it Showed up in my... It didn't show up in my feed. I don't remember how I came up again. It was a few weeks ago. And I was like, wait, why does this have 20,000 views? Wait, what is this one? Wait, no, it's not that one. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Hang on. Here. Here is that obviously, like, again, it's like the mechanical plays, right? Like,
Hey, you're losing, you know that, right?
Can you just made me die?
That's when you start.
Comedy gold, man. I didn't even know that was recorded. Pepper posted that one that I didn't even know about. That was actually real. That was my sister playing Overwatch, and she loves coming over like once a month, and she just plays versus the AI. And then that was my brother, and he was apparently stealing my clothes, and yeah. The funny part about that, I'm pretty sure the comments are like, who is that girl? Wait, is that Spylo? Why does he look... It was like, no. It's not... That's because it's not me, bro. That's not me. That's not me. Yeah, that's not freaking me, bro. His hair was like, it was Spylo level, but yeah.
And then Liquid second, of course. Yeah, I'm wondering how much
Predictions for Circuit. Well, it's always, what are they going to do about the Admiral pick, right? Like, what are they going to do about the Admiral pick? How are they going to play their supports? No, it's not me, bro. He's got the hair like me, but it's not me. Here, look. I was coaching. Pepper videos me. I don't know what's going on right now. Mechanical plays, right? Like, that's not me.
Hey, you're losing, you know that, right?
Can you just made me die?
That's when you start.
That's not me. No, it's not. The angle makes it look like me. Let's see if I can find another picture here. I'll see if I can find a picture of me and him, so you can see the difference. Yeah, the clothes are exactly alike, yeah. Let me see if I can find a picture here. Yeah, because he's the guy that did the album with us. Here. I'll see if I can find a picture with me and him. He's the guy that we did the album with. Wait, I think I can do like a band picture. That's probably pretty easy.
How do you kill anybody when the Lifeweaver and the BAP? Like, because the Lifeweaver and the BAP are chilling. The healing output, by the way, from both those heroes is just unbelievable. And then as soon as Lethal overextend, like gets low, goes crazy,
No.
W my own cover, whoever, they just get gripped. You just can't do anything.
Yeah, but on the defense, I mean, it's quite curious. I think Ultimate as well, they played the Lifeweaver here. Early engage from GK. They just want to brawl.
Yeah, this is one. This is probably the best one here. Here you go. There. Resemblance is there, for sure.
I really like this setup as well. Like the way they're positioned, that mega health pack is gonna get perma-hacked. Cover doesn't really need any support.
But when his hair is a lot messier. Admiral's gonna play Weaver? Yeah, I believe you. Alright, let's lock in. Damn, you're short. Frick you, dude.
Gives the backline a lot of opportunity to get a lot of healing done and keep someone like Huffa up, for example. And Liquid, they're not pushing the cart at all, obviously.
Yeah,
it's more the hair in the hoodie, I think.
UV is shooting you in the back too. Because look at UV's positioning on the high ground.
They banned Kiri.
On that mega health pack.
BAP Lifeweaver.
Already, by the way. Yeah, he's done a lot of damage. Put it that way.
Yeah, you need to clear out the flanks here.
That's Tanner.
It's so hard though.
Yeah, well, you have to do it. You can't just walk up.
Who's the baby, chat? I think we've got BAP and Cassidy's the baby. Yo, nice. I saw your comment on YouTube, mate. Maybe I responded too slow. Yeah, I really enjoyed the video. I was teasing you about the thumbnail. I really like what you were saying about burst mobility. Good stuff. Keep up the good work. But yeah, you must not have seen me respond. I must have responded too slow. Cheers, mate. Chat, you guys remember the video, yeah? Like the Overwatch 2 hero design video we watched? That's nice in the flesh. You think Sombra's baby? You might be right, actually. I didn't think about that. Hairstyle seems to run the family. I started it. He just got married. That's where oh, there's the baby. He just got married a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. I lose all track of time. I think I'm gonna pull the baby into a bomb again. Bro, that freaking cracked me up, dude. What's a baby? It's whoever Life Weaver's... The reason you're running Life Weaver most of the time at this level is because you're letting somebody do something stupid and you can yoink them out. I'd like to know what your thoughts on a melee character would be. I don't know. Has to be mobility. I don't think I'm a character... Like, you have to be, like, super mobile. Super mobile. Genji flank. EDRE angle. Oh my gosh. I freaking love this stuff. Well, okay, like strategically, Saralee. Even if his numbers are busted, then you still have to play into his strengths. Stop actualing me, Saralee. Do you think Admiral will pipe bomb? I can't speak for my Estonian brother. I don't trust him.
Recontest here.
Yeah, now we're finally at like what is usually the normal.
The reason Widow's not played is because the prevalence of Juno's speed boost. You can't really ban speed.
They have the damage ultimates, right? Blade and the Terra Surge should get value here.
Yeah, Terra Surge is going to be big combo with the Blade. Oh, downpour does connect.
Combo sauce. Combo sauce.
Just in time though from RuPaul to keep Tree alive, although WI Moan and Lethal picking up kills off their own. And in fact,
UV. Oh, that's all he needs. The zoning value throws the lamp just in case. Not today, Satan. Crazy. Chances we see a Sky Noon.
Point as GK prove they truly are the kings of Circuit Royale.
That was disgusting, bro. I can't believe.
What do you do? Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm going to text my wife a skull emoji.
Okay. Zero's first blade was that.
I'm not gonna lie. You guys know like the iPhone things where you can like do the emojis and make them do different things. The skull ones are hilarious. I don't know why I find them so funny. What are your hopes for Aqua? I hope that Aqua provides unique support choices and encourages creative playstyles. How's the IRL part of pro teams? Depends on the team. I highly recommend Poke to go back and listen to the NACAD coaching the coach session and just listen to the Askoft section. The reason I asked Askoft is because Askoft walked the talk in terms of his team environment. He did a really good job encouraging a much healthier team environment, not just from physically, but also mentally. He's really good at what he does. So if you were looking for some insight into that, I think Askoft is a good place to start there.
Yeah, I mean, when you're using maps where
having an iPhone could be, bro, mine is so freaking old. Maybe it's not that old. It's my wife's old phone. I still have her thing on it. I just haven't bothered. If you look up NACAD, N-A-E-C-A-D, on my YouTube, you should be able to find it.
Oh, I love this pick. Zera's on the Torb. It's gonna get the turret is not gonna survive.
Skillful players, they run into not in my sessions, no, because if you're paying a lot of money for a session from me, that tends to thin the herd. You get what I'm saying? So I have much, but when I was team coaching, like playing more competitively, like playing coaching more competitively, and or was charging less. Yes.
Like you said, GK, there's no rush here either. Because if you're the offense as well, what you can do is just draw out
Angle from Hazard.
Because Liquid
DPS needs to go in an angle as well.
to win these fights, and so they're going
And then we'd see the baby. Yep, there's the Sombra angle. There's the Hazard wall. Orisa's low. It's a nice hack as well. It's a great... wow, that's a crazy mechanical play from Tree and RuPaul there. That was really well set up from DK. Oh my gosh. Like, the margin of error there was minuscule. Wait, they're just going to keep going.
Because, like I said,
Wait, they could actually hold the space maybe. If Admiral has Tree... oh, no.
Alright, wasting some more time. All good.
That was, man, I freaking love this setup from Geekay, and honestly, Liquid did a good job there too. That was really well, some high-level map control, just like, when it really boils down to just mechanics there, because it's so well played from both sides.
That's going to, you know, be so valuable for your
Torben time, yep. Liquid's comp's pretty good. Speed opportunity to punish stuff. You get a Torb, good range pressure. This really goes to show, I think, maybe how Freya is not quite as popular, because I do think Freya would do quite well versus what Liquid have, but, yeah.
They have a big combo.
No, poke. It's NAECAD on my channel. You're good, dude. There's the Sky Noon, kind of, sort of. That's going to enable a dive, and that's the kill right there. There you go. It's really hard, you know? Like, I don't know if you... I mean, Infected maybe needed to have Javelin for that, but, like, that's tough. There's the baby pole. Forces the ultimate. Infected... Kaffa dies, but in theory, they still should do something here. That's really good layering from Liquid, man. Maybe there's a chance here. Is it GK or GK? I don't see where the tree was placed.
To stay alive here. Look, surely not. GK still should be favored here.
My moon's got really close. Good pull there. Deflect was used. Dash was used.
They're doing a good job, and they got lava to go in this fight if they want it.
Torbolt needs to be kind of used now, and they kind of need to take space off of that. Giving up this much space is a little spooky. Spooky McSpookins. They do have a good angle there. There's the blade. Oh man, Kaffa gets picked. Yo, Pepper's home, chat. Let's go. Make sure to congratulate Pepper. Don't forget she went double gold today. Didn't lose a single match. Huge play from Maimon there. Oh. Yo, the goat. Wait, we gotta see the drip. You look, yeah, seriously, you look like freaking Dennis Rodman.
A couple of insane platforms at the end there by Admiral, Johnny.
Check it. Wait, where? Show the hair.
For me, that really did it, because both teams, they traded a player out, right? And so GK, they lose Kaffa, their Hazard, but they still life grip out my
hot sauce
and from on there, it was just surgical.
And then the
and
belt.
my pepper, here's my belt.
The belt.
I don't know if Gregor's here, but I did my first kill
Coming up. So that's all they needed.
today.
It's actually the most extra thing I've ever seen in my life.
That belt?
Yes.
Dude, so I got to the table and these three, this guy and this lady were like,
it looked a little
"You
nerve-wracking
got
towards
a
the end,
belt,
but at the end of the day, it looked like they were in full
freaking out. I was
control
like,
of that final fight.
Yes. So congratulations. We'll be ending stream soon. Thank you. I always get the medals because I put on all the work.
all the hard work.
As usual.
I almost had a balloon sweep armbar.
I don't know what the balloon sweep is.
Where I jumped guard, and then she kind of fell on her butt.
Yep.
Stood back up, put both my feet on her hips, had her collar,
Yes.
collar in her sleeve. You kick him over your head into the armbar.
I see.
But she kind of knew it was coming, so just like threw herself on her side, so I just came
Yep, still positional advantage. Nice shot, dude.
Push on the
My
attack,
hands are
right?
dirty, but...
Oh yeah, well wait then.
Yeah.
Thanks for the medal.
Requires you to clear out like the
Proud of you,
main
dude.
health pack, or you kind of push into the casty with the
Spilo.
life weaver on the right hand side.
Spilo belt.
they're
Wait,
making
it's an S now.
full on like
It's a
okay,
Z.
we're gonna
Yeah.
try.
push this
I've got the
way.
grandmommy hair today. It's not my
Try and
best.
push the casty and the life weaver. Okay, we're gonna get shot behind. Like
pile of dirt right there.
Oh, sorry.
This hard. This comp's very hard to
I'm
play
going to
unless you've
sit
got a
in the
definitive
corners.
like, okay, this is
Yeah,
how
man,
we
you
crack
deserve it.
this.
Congrats.
But
She's grinding rank in jiu-jitsu. Yes. How does it feel to know your wife is cooler and more accomplished? Hey, man. I just set the bar really high. If she hurdles it, like good for her. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I can see this. But
solo someone
Here,
as a
that's fine.
Genji when there's a life
my-
remote like
my pepper
next to you? Like
pretty cool.
you just
And then
can't.
it says
Yeah, just ignoring the hazard
extra
sombra.
spicy
It's
on
like
the
at least you're
bottom.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that
exposed
looked
and
like, but it was a
they
whole bunch
just
of it probably just
couldn't,
looked like spicy.
Extra.
That first point setup from GK. So,
Explain what you did in Overwatch terms.
for a beautiful demonstration
Took angles, held map control, and then explosively pushed your advantage when given opportunities, including with some creative hero swaps that haven't been seen before.
Like, why are they playing this setup?
Thank
Are
you
they
very
trolling
much.
in our scripts?
One of
Like, what are
three.
they doing?
You know what's
I'm joking, I'm joking, I'm joking, I'm joking, I'm joking.
if your match is
Do you think there's a situation to take the tier 3 turret perk? I was thinking about that the other day, like normal people. I don't know. Maybe in OT situations on defense, when you can instantly get it and then you have time to set up for like a bunch of points and escort, because it full heals the turret, which is pretty nice.
It's rough, man. We'll see if any
What rank is she in Overwatch terms? For women, feels like at least diamond.
because at the moment
Yeah, at least diamond. Yeah.
that second map without giving up the first capture point.
Two
They look
striper?
good.
Yeah.
Liquid going to Rudasapi now
A rat?
as we go into the third map.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is a bit of a go-to map here for Liquid.
Yeah.
Interesting to see if they decide to sub in Knife here, because Knife has seen some playtime on this map when Knife has flexed over and played something like the Sombra, for example.
Hey,
Obviously,
if it does the job.
Zero is the go-to player when it comes to the Tracer, the Genji, and both very viable on this map here, of course. Infected.
Well, to show that you're attempting something, yeah.
Risa player, and Runasapi is really a map where you can enable your Risa player to
Yeah, tell me later.
do great things, of course. So
Love you too.
see where
Wait, you
Liquid
said love to chat.
go compositionally here for
Frick
this
me,
map.
man.
If they want to stick with, the broad compositions, makes a lot of sense here on Runasapi.
She says love you, chat.
But
She doesn't
you're
love you.
thinking that the life rule
She's a liar.
That was a bit of a one-off, right? Maybe.
No, she's a liar. No. Deceiver.
Every single map. No substitutions, by the way, so we're not going to see Knife. Just wanted to update you there. It looks like a hazard ban from
No.
Liquid and a tracer ban for Geeke.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last week as well. Like, Kaffa's fantastic. on
Don't be
the passive, like,
parasocial, Pepper. That's actually true. Thank you for that, JDH watches. Yes, don't be parasocial.
Downing brought me this,
Liquid death.
but
I'll drink
I
it.
didn't want it.
I'll
so-
drink it.
Yeah.
Dead billionaire. Dude, this is like the most
Tracer here too. I think
white person drink.
Hero pool is pretty big. Like, Zera obviously
Like,
wants to.
I guess this has like actual
towards
stuff in
the
it, but like you
Tracer.
guys talk like the liquid
When
death
he made
water.
a big showing of it.
My brother was into that like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I didn't know what it was.
We'll see how
It's just flavored water, like natural flavored water. I guess honestly, it's just like all marketing, man. It's freaking marketing.
Rush and what they've been playing for the last like however long, like I don't know, since the start of the year. It's like,
What kind of sport? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
We just Kuffa's got such a deep hero pool as well. Like,
There's a question I answered.
not going to be phased by this.
Yeah, they're not going to be faced that.
Hazard ban, and then Tracer ban.
Liquid, you're thinking. They're trying to
Keep
get back
Zera.
to comfort, right? Because a map like Circuit Real can like really throw you off.
It's the tap out shirt of drinks. That's actually so true. So dude, there are so many. So I spent my teenage years in a little Western North Carolina town that was like really big into like wrestling and stuff like that. Dude, every freaking middle-aged, goateed, slightly overweight father, tap out, MMA, UFC, wrestling, cheap beer.
To go through Runasapi on a regular basis. Really good map for someone like Infected. And they want to make
Deal with
sure that this is the
frustration.
go-to map for them, where they,
Ooh, good question. You gotta focus on what's keeping. Like, it's just a game, mate. Like, you gotta focus on like you have unique things that make you uniquely you. Not to be corny, but like everyone has unique strengths and weaknesses. Some people are naturally good at competitive and sports stuff and games just because of their life experience and things that they enjoy doing. But everyone that I know that is frustrated about that generally has some other strength or something else that they're good at, right? That's just kind of like your choice. And if you really want to get better at things, you might just have to put effort in. I know sometimes it feels like a little bit unfair. Wow, what a javelin. Because maybe you put in more effort than they do right now, but like you're trying to counter out life experience, which that's really hard to do. You know? That's really what talent comes down to. So focus on enjoyment, focus on playing to your strengths, and if you want to dynamize yourself, that sounds weird. Dynamite yourself. If you want to add layers to who you are as a person, just understand that that's absolutely worth doing, but it might just take a little bit more time. You know, just because it doesn't come naturally to you doesn't mean you shouldn't put time into it, but it also means that you shouldn't be impatient. You know, you should enjoy the process, because sometimes the learning process is really the most fun thing. You know, comparison's the thief of joy, man. Seriously. Tracer's here, the cavalry! Or whatever she says. There's my Tracer impression.
Fantastic on this hero, but against the infected Sarisa, they say we want to stay away from the Sarisa. We want to try to
you.
the backline instead. Oh, but
I know I did.
this is
Can your wife tear me limb from limb in a one-on-one death battle? She says no. You would never get in a death battle, me. She dodges that question. Total politician. Yeah, cheers, Katatachi. I mean, keep in mind, it's hard, mate. It's easier said than done. I've been there as well.
By the way, I know
Never do that again.
In here, but I just want to say that I've got.
Tier 3 health is also kind of huge, shorter duration though. Yeah.
Like this could be a map where lethal just takes over. By the way, I just want it to be said, because we talk a lot about the other players on GK, of course, when they're playing.
If I had a euro every time I set myself on fire with my own dynamite and died to it.
By the way.
Well, we've got the overclock, so.
There's only I can't do it. That's all. I don't know the Malgo voice lines. What is it? Smile my gun in each hand, smile in my face. I can do a lot of guttural noises. That's about it. Why did I read that out loud? Oh, too late now. Koopa Kaiju. Thank you for the sub. That's kind of a fun name. Sounds more like Cassie. Oh yeah. It's high noon. I can't do that. I can't do it here. Hello there. Well, the only thing I can say.
It was actually a great fight win from Liquid, actually, because they forced fights in these narrow corridors. But this is
No, I'm not doing it on impression. A bigger sword. Fired up like a volcano. I could do all the grip, but I'm not as good at the impressions. We were screwing around and Pepper and I remember I told you guys about this one time. It turned out like my best impression, I don't know if I want to do it anymore, was the freaking Lifeweaver impression. I was like, of all the characters, man. No, I'm not doing the listen to your mummy. Haha. Come here, won't you? Or whatever he says. No, it's so fun. I don't even remember whatever Lifeweaver says, though. It's very breathy. Oh no, Ultraviolet has been picked. Oh dear. He seems to be unstoppable. I certainly want one to try. It's very... Hello. It's not embarrassing if you're shameless. It's one of the easier impressions. You know, In fact, it has Terror Surge, so maybe he'll suck them all in and smash them all down. I do love tasteful violence. What can I say? I sound like McCrae. It's actually true. That's actually true. Yeah. That's one of the simpler ones. I can scream really well. That's my vocal talent. I can make a lot of noise without tearing up my voice. And I can also go really high. I used to actually have a slightly lower voice, and I'm not even joking. Coaching and streaming, the yelling and personality on stream, over time makes my voice slightly higher. Not even joking. Deathcore album win. Hey man, I've done some screaming before. I actually did screaming in one of the songs we released.
He got a couple though. He got a couple with the primal. I see you, Kappa. Able to claw themselves back into this fight. Infected over to the
You know you can screech, believe me? Yeah.
I can't believe that Infected swapped off the Orisa, considering how good they've looked so far.
It was like the first really crappy song. I don't even know if it's publicly available. It might be on YouTube. It was You Never Said Good. It's shoot. It's on our YouTube, you could say. It was not our best work. It was our first attempt. You said it's not goodbye. That's what it was.
And that's exactly the heroics GK need.
Slaughter to prevail impression for me, pretty please. No.
Yeah, no ultimates available for GK here, but if you get the cap, yeah, in fact, it's going to swap back to the Orisa here. Actually, I think that's a good move here. If GK can get the cap here, I think that's enough here. You're not asking for much more, and Liquid are sitting back, so that's going to be the case, especially with Infected making that late swap, right? So GK, despite the fact
Black and Gore grind.
cap is huge for the remainder of the map.
Oh yeah.
They got to force Liquid to use ults and then potentially back off.
Nice blade setup. Gets a little lost in the sauce. He's using the ugly skin. I think that's the problem. Did you guys see what happened to Proper? Proper's on the bench. That's what you get when you use the wrong Genji skin. Lorna Shore. Yeah, sorry, Omnia Santa. Our country Jack.
And again, it's all about I think Infected's just doing Cuffer one a bit dirty at the moment, because Cuffer, he's had plays with the Primal Rage, Johnny, but it's a rough time against.
We need to do something. I can't do Winston. Oh, I can't quite do Winston. No. Jack, guys.
Cuffer's just going to get forced out. It actually prompts a teleport there from Ultraviolet to get to Cuffer in time. Overclock? Can they actually force anything?
I used to be able to have a decent Scottish accent, but it's I'm so far terribly out of practice. It's no, I'm not gonna do it. Skins are seeking the most important factor. It does. It's like more like picking the good skin is not gonna make you play better, but it shows what kind of person you are. You know, like right now, I know Zera's a proper simp and has bad skin taste, so I can already tell that he's not gonna win this game. You know what I'm saying? It just shows some severe personality flaws. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even some evil in there too. You know. The woke blue-haired liberals taking over the country. Yes, well, we already talked about this. I'm working on my what was the manosphere? Yes, I'm working on my manosphere. I'm a grifting manosphere, working on it. I've been working on my manosphere recently. It's actually kind of I've had to see a doctor about it actually.
My God, just kind of laying waste to Team Liquid, and this is the fight they needed to win 59 meters.
Yeah, you might be right, Digital.
Try and get back in time to just stall out. There's a minute to go, but it is very winnable for GK.
Hello, boy.
Yeah, this is the most important fight of the map so far. RuPaul got this Kitsune Rush. This can't be Liquid tripping at the finish line once again.
Congratulations, you solved the Jokings game. That must be a first. We're working on our manosphere. So.
A beautiful pick. There's 40 seconds to go, Johnny. If they lose any
yeah, you need one solid fight here. So you know that Liquid are going to push up here. GK happy to forfeit this space because they need their fifth for this final fight. Maimon's caught here. This could be really
yeah, see? Wait, no, wait. That's the wrong Genji. Frick. Wait, did Maimon have that skin on too?
They've taken the bot into their possession. There's 15 seconds to go. The blade from Zero's getting
Oh, does he have good support for this? He does. Dang it, guys. This guy does not deserve it. He does not deserve it, bro. He thinks he's him. He thinks he's him. He doesn't deserve it. That's okay. He'll still lose. You win the map, lose the match. Lose the war.
Wow, what another fantastic map of push right there. And we saw Liquid playing the Orisa composition.
And an ugly Winston skin? Actually, you may be right. I didn't see that. That's true. That's true. Why did your Winston smoke a little too much? Did you just come through and knew it? Maybe, yeah.
I got real nervous for Liquid there, but wow, they're able to just clutch it out with that one Kitsune coming out from RuPaul.
What do you think of the Primal? Sorry, not the Primal. The Primal.
I love the Primal.
What do you think of the Winston on this map?
Yeah.
Gotta shave, man.
Like I said during the game, right? Like
gotta shave. I'm getting the tap out goatee.
Positioning to play around Kaffa made Kaffa's life real.
Pretty soon I'm gonna like start watching like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and you know random MMA matches and stuff like that. You know.
Kaffa popping the Primal Rage was able to land these like 2Ks to really push Liquid back. Which meant Liquid had to regroup. And I think as this map kind of progressed, Jack, if you agree with me, I felt like
I'm just trashing Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I've actually never seen it. I knew as soon as I said it, you guys were gonna cry about it. I've never seen it.
And at the end, it got real close. I mean, what was it, like 3 meter difference?
I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
29 to.
All right, let's try. Should we try this liquid death,
Healing
guys?
is kind of crazy. On Team Liquid side, 17k to 12 on GK.
Oh wait, there's caffeine in this. I probably shouldn't. It's like 6 o'clock my time already. It's a little late for caffeine.
A lot more a lot less healing.
It's like trashing Magic when you never played it. Yeah, I wonder who would do that. I wonder who would do
She's
that.
taking a lot of heals. Like, there's a lot of heals being pumped into the Orisa to keep her alive. So that does make sense. Now, if you're GK, you end up losing this map. You look like you wanted to play a little
Team
bit
Liquid
more
go hard to the Liquid Death sponsor.
Suravasa,
Have I shared my
maybe, I'm
opinions in
thinking?
Stadium in a video? Yep, right when it released. So it's we might have to dig back a little bit.
I don't know. Sure,
Spiral flip.
We'll have to see about the picks.
Yeah, we're gonna jump to a quick
114 degrees Fahrenheit here. No shot. Really? No way. You're lying.
Potential map 5 coming up.
You are a lying liar.
With the map pick after this.
You are a lying liar, Stefano. I know who you are. You're just a lying liar. What's the... Why can't I check the... Typical Stefano. Always lying. It's not... Dude, there's no way. It's 31 Celsius? Wait, don't tell me. That's like... That's pretty hot. It's like 90 Fahrenheit, I think. I drink a double espresso at 7 p.m. Yeah, man, but I hold myself to a higher standard, my friends. I'm a freaking elite athlete, you know? Fine is not good enough. I'm not waking up, like, sniffing paint and, like, punching holes through walls and bench pressing quadruple my body weight with one arm. Like, that's not good enough. You get what I'm saying? All you peasants, nah, like, I just hold myself to a different standard. If I'm not, like, super, like roid rage aggressive at 6 a.m., there's something wrong. 42 Celsius in your thermostat. That is pretty warm. That's like 105, 106 or something. No, I'm not natural. No, I am natural. My body just naturally produces those chemicals. Sorry if you guys haven't developed that skill yet. I got that passive installed when I was like 12, and I just was like way smarter and tougher than everybody else. So I just installed that RPG passive. You guys are still behind. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I chose the perk. Yeah. Well, I just also had more perks on... I didn't have more perks on rollout. I just installed more perks. I did more damage than you guys did. And so, therefore, I have more perk charge. You guys are still in, like, your first perk. Bro, I'm on, like, my 12th perk. And it just snowballs. The rich get richer, you know what I'm saying? The competent get more competent. Get competenter. I switched my primary and alt fires and banjo. Ah, classic mistake. Don't play the banjo. Or if you do play the banjo, just abuse the open chords. Life hack. Coming class conscious? No. I started from the bottom, and due to my survivorship bias, I think that you guys can too. You see what I'm saying? No, you don't, because you guys are stupid. Stupid and poor. Typical. Couldn't be me.
Team Liquid with match point as we go to King's Row next. GK with the pick. Lucio ban. Cassidy ban on the other
Can I
side, Johnny.
Can I do bullet chests in between matches? No. How about chest bullets? That's like sounds like a very Western thing. You do have like, it's high noon, you know, and they meet in the middle, and then they move a chess piece. Check. And then they go back, and they fire a couple bullets at each other, and they go up and they do another move. Yep. I think that's the strategy.
They went hunting with Maimon on the Sombra that time, but
She shot tank a lot as a youth? No. Because it gives reduced ult
this
charge.
should be, you know, Kaffa
Like chess boxing, yes, but with
you
like
know,
6
Juno
guns
Brig,
and
especially
dust.
with Lucio not involved anymore. I think this GK team.
Or the guns fire chess pieces, and you have to target the chessboard on the side of the barn. And if you miss, or you shoot the wrong spot with the chess piece, like you cheat, the other person gets to shoot his chess piece into your groin. So if you're inaccurate, you lose very quickly.
Because you know they're going to come into every map with a good game plan and something they've thought through with great communication and rotations. Now, I'm quite, I don't know what you think, but I'm quite surprised to see GK performing
I think we
this
should.
well in stage
I mean,
2,
maybe that could be done.
despite the fact Sirius no longer with the team.
Yeah, because
You guys ever played the Red Dead Redemption side game groin chess? I mean, bullet groin. Never mind. I can't think of a good combo for us.
Such a long time at this point as well. Been on a variety of teams, but to slot in like that and replace someone like Zera is a big
Magnus
ask.
Carlsen with a revolver.
He's done it perfectly, and I think, like you said,
But the bishop could only be fired diagonally? No, you gotta move it, like, you gotta put the bishop there, and then they pull it out of there, they yank it out of there, the wall, and they put it back in your gun, and you fire it again.
The pick, they're probably going to run the same thing. A bit of an interesting ban, though, when we look at Team Liquid's side of things, Cassidy. Do you think that's really anything kind of crazy here, or do you think it's more of a just in case? Like, how do you feel about the cast ban?
Yeah, I feel like it's more about.
You guys ever listen to Marty Robbins, man? I grew up listening to freaking Marty Robbins. And I remember the double take I did like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, when Big Iron was some meme song. I was like, dude, I know that guy. You guys haven't listened to Marty Robbins' Gunfighters and Trail Ballads or whatever, the first album and the second album after. Really good stuff. There's a lot of good other songs on that album.
Another hit scan heroes. But let's see what Liquid had in mind, because we talked a lot about GK and, you know, obviously the strats. We're seeing the.
Yeah, who would be the pawn? Would it just be tracers, like a bunch of tracers?
We're doing it again.
Master's Calls were good. Big Iron's good. Saddle Tramps good.
Vegas Hover in the.
No.
Side Weaver as well.
Yeah, me tonight. But you guys didn't know that he was a competitive race car driver later in his career and actually wrecked his car to avoid hitting one of I think one of his somebody that he knew like wrecked his car in a race, like a race, and he actually almost killed himself. Marty Robbins did to avoid hitting them, so he wouldn't kill them. So he like severely like risked his life. It was a pretty cool dude.
That's so annoying.
Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I'm in love with a Mexican girl. Guitar's really good in this one. That's a really sad song though. Kind of morbid. Like I said, they're hanging me tonight. I was like, wow, these songs are kind of dark. All right, Lucio ban, Cassidy ban. Gonna see some fun stuff from Geek, Life Fever stuff from Admiral. I don't think Life Fever has quite as much space here, so we'll see if he sticks with it. He might stick with it. Poops row again. Pawn is Baby Diva. Queen is David Mack.
I think Infected just kind of walked at them and said,
Cassidy.
I'm not scared of the Life Weaver anymore.
Just walk at them, bro.
Yeah, cheery. It sounds like how morbid the lyrics are. Yeah.
Bit of an awkward first
Oh,
point.
oh, Kuffa! No! Kuffa just freaking bails that out.
So Jack.
Yeah, he gets shot in that song. He does. He does indeed. Spoiler alert. Also, there's a sequel to that song. It's actually a prequel to that song in the next album.
Well, it looked kind of ass on the first point, I'll be real. Cover just instantly died, so we'll see if it...
Is any pros from Overwatch League Season 1 still playing? Ooh. Ryu Shenghong?
I like this RuPaul also...
He came back, right?
Okay, Zera is dead. I like the Ana pick, though, coming from RuPaul. Oh my god.
Felina, yeah. Yeah, it's also because... Oh, that's true, because also Breaking Bad. It's like...
He's fine. I like the Ana pick, though, against Life Weaver Hazard. Like, that thing is going to be so good.
Calyx, yep. Good shout. Calyx as well. And Calyx is just eternal, man.
Yeah, I think so too. I really like the Ana pick here as well. So, you know, now it's
They're doing a really good job keeping pressure on Maimon here.
Maimon going down there is not going to do them any favors. Liquid should.
Dude, Nightbot just needs to shut up. I need to change the frequency of that. Some of those commands are kind of outdated too. Sorry, guys.
You almost have
When did Pelican enter League? Season 3? I'm not sure.
And Ultraviolet end up going down, even though the tree was deployed. And Cuffer also falls. Yeah, Team Liquid. They're not scared of Life Fever anymore, Johnny. They've overcome their fears.
Yeah, I feel like on a map like King's Row, that's a bit more straightforward. Gets a little bit easier for Liquid to deal with this.
It's a good song.
Like you said, has amazing sightlines here. Obviously, you're up against the Sombra, so you have to be worried about
Breaking Bad collab.
I don't think the Sombras alone is enough to make RuPaul that worried.
Yeah, Dante still plays, just not no WCS. Good old Dante.
They are just going, just gunning for the backline. And Mimo's already dead. So GK have lost their ability to EMP. Admiral falls to 0. As Team Liquid.
No, can you imagine Walter White Mercy just with a bald cap? That would be the funniest thing ever. Holy crap, I would die. And like a Hank Diva. Wait, who would be Gustavos? Just Hazard, just for no reason whatsoever.
Okay, they'll hold for now at the very least. But
Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious. Skylar Reinhardt go so hard.
Absolutely, they struggled a little bit to start here. But now they have this.
Skylar Reinhardt would go hard.
This is where they looked so well against SSG last week, and obviously different compositions in play then. But still, GK, I think they're a smart team when they're able to play around ultimates like these. And if they can find the right position, the right opportunity to use this EMP, it could be devastating for Liquid.
the instant stealth again. Mimo is hunting. Oh, spotted Sarah. Oh, the solo EMP just does him like that. All right, okay, got him. Got mine.
That's enough.
That's a disrespect to a whole new level is all I'm saying.
That's all you need.
I guess to farm infected.
Yeah, I got the tracer. We win the fight. All good.
Tuco Malga. Pelican was 2021 because you won. Yeah, okay.
Like replacing Zera and then solo EMPing him.
Skyly.
Oh, wow.
Skyly Ryan. I'm a big fan of Skyly. That's my favorite Breaking Bad character, Skyly. Wait, who would be Saul Goodman?
We gotta start the drama. You know,
Okay,
write the story.
When there's no drama to be had, we have to start it.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Who would be the funniest character to be Saul Goodman?
There's the pedal platform on cover who was asleep. Rush available from Vega too, so this fight fairly easy, you'd imagine, for Team Liquid. Nano boost deployed onto tree, and now he can just go hunting. A window from Ultra.
What if it was like Widowmaker, just something completely out of pocket? Life Weaver. Actually, Life Weaver would be good, yeah. Yeah, seriously, dude. I mean, everyone would want to run. Although, like, problem is, Stefano is it would completely, it would be Fortnite. You know, it'd just be like the goofiest crap ever. Kiriko, just every character is just Kiriko in a different like bodysuit.
They're gonna cap this second point, Johnny. A very split fight, but Liquid make it work. 2.5 minutes on point 3.
Yeah, Zero came back from spawn and just cooked them. It's like, oh, you two are stuck between our back.
Hi, girl.
Hey, what is going on back here? Like,
you know,
Kiriko collab would go insane.
Mimo gets picked again here. Comes over to the Winston, which, you know, third point.
Mike is Widowmaker, yeah. Mike. Oh my gosh.
I mean, all right.
Oh.
wow, Zera got turned on there.
Feed him.
Lethal with 180 shot onto Zera.
That was disgusting.
Nice. That was a disgusting shot. All right, infected. You know what? If you're going Winston, I'm going Winston. Oh, we're Kings rowing.
Oh, now we're talking.
Hector Salamanca Wrecking Ball.
As well? Oh, let's go.
You guys know the twins, you know? The twins, the Salamanca twins. The guy, one of them streams. And really nice guy. It was really funny. I got him to say something for my sister. Say him something. He's super chill with it. And say something really intimidating for my sister. And I sent her the clip. It was really funny. She had no idea. Cause she doesn't know like much about Twitch or whatever. She's like, what? How? How did you do that? It's really funny. He plays a lot of Rivals. I'm always scouting to see if he'll play Rivals or Overwatch again. Maybe we'll do something with him. That'd be cool.
That overhell from the tree is quite devious, Johnny. Infected now on the high ground trying to duel.
Pretty sure he has like a fairly high-pitched voice, I think, which is pretty funny.
All good though because they got the lab. Yeah, Infected cannot stay around for too much longer. As Geeky with a good hold so far. Team Liquid unable to.
Yeah, this is a pretty good hold here. No nano. Primal's still there, but Nano Winston into Primal is really how you break holds like this, because it's just so much. Oi, Mimo! That was a good try there, but man. Salamanca twin coaching would be peak, yeah. There's the Primal. Oh, he got one. That's big. That's big. And they're approaching Rally and Nano. Kaffa is able to live with 1 HP there to get the Primal off. If he can live, that would be big, but Rally's here. Pulse misses from Zera. I knew it was that Genji skin, man. Nano's coming up here, and if they get Nano off, before Tree especially, that could be huge. Sojourn ult's used. They will not get Tree if Lifeweaver dies here. There's the pull. Buys time 3, 2, 1. He gets Tree off. That's big, man. That might shut it down right there. Yeah. Wow.
Tree snipes lethal out of the skies, but the Tree still doing a lot of work for the defenses here of GK.
That's crazy. Huge hold from GK. GK. GK.
Is looking rather good from GK. A little high ground advantage with the petal platform as Ultraviolet will do the rest of the work for GK's defense. Team Liquid halted.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I mean, maybe these guys, like, Freya got pretty slammed, so I don't know.
I mean, because like there's a lot of stuff there, right? Like you're thinking on a brig, it's like okay, you know, the brig is good for like shutting down.
Yeah, it could be Remy.
Stuff like that, and you're playing
could be, yeah.
The battle grenade.
Hector's wrecking ball rolling around a wheelchair would be the best. That's funny, yeah. And he drops the mines, but it's just ding, 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 you know? No, I don't think you're necessarily gaslighting yourself. I think approaching a problem from a different direction can be fine.
It comes down to Liquid not being able to punish Kaffa, because RuPaul hits a fantastic biotic grenade, which isolates the Winston before the tree goes out, but they're not able to punish Kaffa. And with that, GK, they turn the fight around. So Liquid, they had every opportunity to close out that.
Infected on D.Va here? It's really hard to push there with D.Va. You would,
these trees.
You would definitely want the, I mean, like I said, the Nano Primal is really important to help break that stuff here.
Are you gonna go some trees in ranked? What's going on, buddy? You wanna talk about it?
Maybe I will. You know what? Maybe I will play a little bit Lovelier and ranked. I mean, Admiral's inspired me. Let's get some inspiring words though from GK.
I'm curious what Lethal will play here. Could just be Soj. Are they listening in?
Yeah.
Or sign up.
That's Lethal.
Miss fair.
Where are they? I don't see Trey.
Curry Hotel.
That's Ultraviolet.
Are they getting
That's
top
Admiral.
right?
They have top right.
A second.
I can swing top. We can cap point.
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's UV.
I'm looking top, looking Earth.
What's in point? Already dropped. I go high ground. All look at me.
We're top. You mark swing.
Still on here.
I can't, yeah.
That's my moon, all looking at me.
I'm straight.
Come here.
I'm still forcing point. There he has to drop
I can't peek if you don't go swing.
Okay. I'm not.
We're done.
I'm going top now.
Yeah, I'm good now. You don't need to. Come on, Ollie.
Now they get the rotation.
Ollie, help. I left you.
Huge lamp.
Create a rebind.
Try. Capture.
Really good space control from these guys.
Want to be careful. Can you look me?
Yeah. I'm probably fine. I'm chilling already fine. Already split. Already can't get healed.
It's fine. It's Inner and Death. They'll win this fight, I think.
Then I...
Point.
Okay. 3 point. I bought line of heals, man. Try again.
Nice. Really patient space control there. Really, really nice. Very patient at rotations, recognizing them to flip the map and push Admiral. And so Admiral dies, but it takes him a long time to secure that kill.
They invested their entire portfolio in trying to kill that guy, and they just couldn't. He was just up there chilling, and you heard UV just making the calls that whole time. It felt like another walk in the park.
Yeah, BAP is definitely a map situational pick. Weaver definitely takes the pain points out of running BAP Winston because he just can heal the Winston. So... Oh my gosh.
He's inspired. Hang on, he's inspired. Okay, get logged.
Am I crazy or is that a full flick? That looked like a 90-degree flick, at least. Am I crazy? I don't know if I fully saw him. That's a lot of ults. They need to get the cart moving here. They've blown a lot of ults here.
The tree's too good, man. Is too sick. That was ridiculous.
I think they get a recontest though. That's a lot of ults there. Lethal playing Hanzo is just like a point cheese. Like Hanzo's like pretty good in first point. He'll probably swap for second. Just a lot of verticality, a lot of open space.
Juno just needs some more firepower by the looks of it. No more art.
They're gonna go Juno to touch. They need the speed ring, that's why. But I do think Winston's really freaking good versus this on this map. Like this is scary right now. Like this Winston can do some major hurt. So I know he's scared because of rally, but Lifer is still niche, but he's a lot more able to flex out of his niche. Kuffa gets caught. Kuffa's dead. Man, that sucks. They didn't even use an ultimate. Lethal probably swaps here. Yeah. Yeah, Sojourn swap. I hope we get a replay on that sleep dart.
That's enough. That's enough of the Hanzo shenanigans.
Flips the map to the other angle because it's a better angle for him now. Sojourn, wow. Hello, Yami. Cheers, mate. Bubbles used. He's trying to poke out Brig. Unsuccessfully. He's going to need to give up this angle now. He actually deepens above.
2 years of being angle and timing pill.
That's so good of you, mate. I appreciate the 2 years, mate. Thanks for the sub. Slowly squeezing the space out. They're waiting for that tree. We'll probably see a tree close to backline. And try to kite out the rally here. Sojourn ult being used. Tree is used. Keeps Admiral up. He is very low, though. Bap window use in response. That's going to force rally. Layering is there, but... Ooh, Bap is really freaking good at shooting that Orisa through ult. Really good space control from Geek, man. Oh no, the Juno ult's used. You kind of need... You don't want to probably play Juno on third, but you sure would have liked to have had an ult to stem the tide here. This is a really strong defensive comp from Liquid, though. On his end, if you can play it, Sojourn is really freaking good here. So much sightline, so little rotations. The bad news is that they're going to have one fight on third, but the good news for Geek is that they actually have ults here. So if they get one kill here... Oh, wow. There's the zoning value from the Sojourn ult right there. Yeah, Infected dying there is pretty bad. Vega's going to have to go Kiri. Okay, so RuPaul's going to go Kiri. They're going stall and pick characters. I don't think we can even touch. Wow, well done.
Are we in a Lifeweaver BAP meta?
Yeah, probably. So he is like, stop it, please.
It's working great. They just keep winning with it. Looks amazing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Lifeweaver's enabling all sorts of weird stuff. I think Lifeweaver was enabling some of the Sombra stuff that we've seen. Lifeweaver was enabling the Cassidy stuff that we saw on the other maps as well. And then now he's enabling BAP. BAP is not a good character right now. But when you have a get out of jail free card with a character that can really punch it up, there you go. Orisa was for first and second point. It's pretty good.
Is that what we're doing?
Ooh. I mean, that's interesting. I was wondering, like, do you ban Winston? But I think they banned Winston already, so...
Liquid banned Winston.
Yeah, on map.
Show me the sleep dart, you coward.
So, it gets... I mean, maybe you ban Lifeweaver? Dude, if they ban Lifeweaver, I'll lose my mind. That would be peak.
Yeah.
It is the year 2025. They can't deal with this composition, Jack, so... If you ban it away, then yeah, that does make sense. We joke about Lifeweaver, but
Sushi, thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. We are chilling. We're watching this final map of this professional Overwatch. Hope you've been doing well. I have not been doing well. No, it's a joke. Any Ana being played? Yes. We just watched a great deal of Ana right now, including an insane flick sleep dart. Insane from RuPaul. How are you? How's my favorite 14-second cooldown player?
Popularized the Lifeweaver pick on Suravalsa, right? So maybe stay away from that map.
So true. So true.
Exactly. Yeah, so we are
All right, final map.
So okay. Don't think we're gonna see the Ryan.
I'm fantastic, thank you. I'm glad to hear that, mate. Thank you for the raid.
Dude, but it's what did Infected say? It was like it was super good at 1 point.
Suzu long cooldown for Ana. Yeah.
The first one. Yeah, I mean, you submit to your
GG's.
but let's be honest, like what is Orion going to do against a bad Lifeweaver? Come on, man.
Not much.
Is it a free map for the last one? Seriously, is it a free map? Any map mode?
Not the best hero of all time.
I actually can't remember. Open format. All right. So it's gonna be Liquid.
Unfortunately.
I
love seeing Ryan. It's cool, but is it gonna
I don't know what you would go here.
Liquid to really come out and go, okay, we're gonna commit to the Ryan here. You are gonna get eaten alive by the Lifeweaver.
I don't know what you would go here. I'm not as familiar with what Liquid would whip out here. Don't butter me up. And she doesn't. Yeah, seriously, chat. Like, let's be as disrespectful as you possibly can, please. Come on, guys. New Junk City bans Ramatra. That's gonna force some Orisa, most likely, because you can't. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you'd see Orisa. So Juno is speed ban. Kiri Lucio. Maybe some Hazard Kiri Lucio. Maybe some Orisa Kiri Lucio. I know you guys love your Orisa. We will see.
Because if you force the enemy team over to like Lucio, Kiriko, for example, like very fragile composition.
I mean, with the Ramatra ban, there's a chance we could see Zarya.
So yeah, we'll have to see if GK even bring out the Lifeweaver map to begin with their speed.
Butter him down.
But they've been cooking with it so far this series, Jack.
They have. I mean, look, Juno ban.
Lifeweaver? Yes, lots of Lifeweaver.
Exactly. Yeah.
Normally, you do want to play the Juno.
Sushi plays for the attack speed, and so her attack speed is so high she misses all of her shots. But it's fun. Also, max movement speed. Then she goes for hard flanks and misses her anti-nades.
Just play whatever. We've seen a whole variety of things. And New Junk City, just give us someone else. Just keep on rolling with it. I'm down to see like Zen Alari or like something silly like that.
What?
I'm listening. I'm listening up. It's for the plot. Listen, buddy. I'll listen you, buddy. I know I can relate. Buddy row, yeah.
New Junk City will be fun.
We did see the Alliance against Real. They got first point held.
Yeah, so true. Maybe I'm cooking a little bit too much. Don't forget though, Calling All Heroes is right around the corner as well. Make sure you go check it out.
Calling All Heroes is right around the corner. If you're not careful, it will jump out and eat you alive. It's going to get you. It's going to get you. There's no escape. It's a Bud or Buddy world out here. Would you guys rather be called Bud or Buddy? I think Buddy is better. Bud just sounds even more condescending. Buddy's more affectionate. Bud's more condescension. You like Buddy? Yeah. Bud is weird. Yeah. Bud is like friend zone, you know? Bud just smells like friend zone. Or condescension. Or condescension friend zone. It's the worst combo. How about mate? Yeah, but if you say M8, you're just like you're dating yourself. We haven't said M8 in like 11 years, 12 years. You have to spell it out. Sorry, Gen Z, we spell things now, so. Little bro, yeah. The peep show? No.
And then you got the outside points. So if you're not flexing between those points.
Is this some British thing? It's some British thing, isn't it? Buddy mate pal scene, very funny. Interesting. Hazard here! And then Orisa, and then Sojourn, and then Genji. The Venture is fun. I like it. Okay, so it's a force mode. British thing. Not all British things are bad. Not all British things are bad. My moan's deep. My moan's deep. My moan's deep. My moan's. My moan. Oi, 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 oi. I realize it just sound like the oi, oi, oi. What doesn't Hazard have a voice sound like that? Admiral's dead. Admiral's dead. I mean, yeah, the comps are diverse, but it's also like Geek is the team that's gonna. They're the innovators too. So, and I want to highlight they're good. Innovators doesn't equal bad.
It's just so nice. Like against an Orisa, against a Genji tree, like just.
We spell now? I don't know. You better spell. I just bailed you guys out. I had y'all's back. I was saying Gen Z's got this, so you guys better spell.
Yeah, obviously want to get towards tree or Vega if you can. Doing a nice job of it there, clone themselves back after being at a 4 versus.
Oh, have to protect the Orisa. Actually, that's true, Sarah. That's true. That's true. I was not thinking about protections because I'm dumb. My moon destroys Vega. Remember, Zera's going to lose this match because he's using the wrong skin. I warned you guys of this 2 matches ago. I'm just going to remind you guys of that so you're not surprised when Geek wins this. Don't tell you I didn't say so. Innovation isn't always high risk. It can be something that a team kind of accommodates into. It can be high risk to force yourself into the meta, right? Geek has unusual hero picks and they can lean into it. That way that a lot of times high risk can be, you know, Liquid may not know how to play. They're out of practice versus Venture. Maybe it's been a while since they've played versus Hazard in this map, you know? It's not the best Genji skin. That's alright though. Not everyone has to have perfect taste in art like myself.
Again, proactivity is the name of the game here for Geeky's comp. Yeah. They want to go early. They want to turn heads, basically, both literally and figuratively, I think. And oh, nice shots from UV. Being able to jump to the backline as the Venture and like turn heads also just.
Yes, my moon is probably not going to beat Zero and Genji or Tracer. 100%. Agreed on that take. So, exactly. But my moon has also been around the block a long time. He's got the projectile DPS hero pool on lock. Go for it. Coach me before I'm a Rhino TP. Wait. What is your in-game name, Mohammed? What is your in-game name? I remember you. Did I coach you in Eichenwald? Or am I crazy? I might be crazy. Congrats on top 500, mate. Era Brine, yeah. Did I coach you in Eichenwald or am I crazy? Yes. Congrats, dude. I remember. Congrats, man. That was a while ago. Top 500 now. Twice. Beautiful. Absolute king. Congrats, mate. In fact, it gives up a ghost ball. That's great. Ooh. Spooky. They got point, though. If my one can live... Nope. Man. Of course, I did. Hey, man, you put in the work. I'm glad I could help even in the small part. Sombra Tracer. Cover probably stays Hazard.
Going to Sombra. So again, kind of what we expected, but it's lethal plenty this time, and Mono on Tracer.
Yeah, kind of back where we started on Ilios, right? GK.
That's beautiful. And again, Lethal's got a lot of reps in Sombra the last year. I don't know if he's like an S tier Sombra, but he's got a lot of practice in. So most teams would not be able to swap Sombra. It's not just because of the ball. Sombra's pretty good on this map. Sombra's pretty good versus a lot of these heroes. Orisa's pretty good versus Hazard, honestly. It was more of a comp situational thing, but Hazard's fairly flexible. Hazard doesn't really counter anything, nor is he really countered by anything in a vacuum. Of course we know you, dude. The whole Twitch chat knew who you were. I remembered. The GOAT. Oh! No! No Suzu yet. No Suzu. It had been forced earlier. That was late fight trades. That's the danger of late fight. You can be up 1 or 2, but you're down the cooldowns that got you those picks, which means things can flip so quickly. We saw that earlier with the Zarya stuff, right? I mean, to be fair, he was already he was already jumped. Like, the pulse hit and he, like, jumped immediately. Like, it was, like, awkward timing. Who's my favorite team? I don't really have a favorite. I do like GK because I've coached Lethal for a long time. I coached Admiral for a long time. I've known Mimone. I've like been in his like the European community for a while. I don't know him that well. I've worked with Ultraviolet before. We did a little collab not too long ago with Ana and stuff. And Kaffa's a good mate too. So I have either strong or weak connections to like all of GK. Whereas Liquid, not so much. Infected is a good mate. In fact, I've known of Infected for a while, but the other ones I don't know as well. Enables that hazard ult, that creates the space. Tree's isolated, tree's dead. Admiral's or Vega's gonna follow suit. Bro's got the insider trading knowledge. Hey man, I was coaching contenders in Overwatch League for like 4.5, whatever years. I should hope so. Although nowadays it's like there's a lot more players that I don't know as well anymore. I'm an old fogey. What did I tell you guys about Zero's Genji skin? He tries to swap off of Genji to hide from it, but it doesn't matter. I know who you are. Sombra Translocator, they find it. He might die. Suzu's there in time. Mines are used. Pulse is used. That's actually such a massive stick from Mimone. Sojolt ult shut down, and all of Liquid's initiative there is stuck. Lethal walks into a mine. I love that from him. And Mimone gets picked by Zero. There's no way they lose this. How? They lose that. Lethal just walks into a mine. I did not teach him that. Dennis! That's crazy. Liquid did not deserve that fight. GK has got to be kicking themselves. They had everything going for them there, from the neutral to the ult trade to everything. No, I specifically, Sarah, we'd sit in a small room, and I'd hit him with hit him with a wiffle bat every time that he walked into a mine. I was like, this is what it feels like. This is really good spy checking. Do you see what I'm saying about the Ball-Sombra relationship? It's complicated. It's not quite as simple as you think at this level. Ball can really make Sombra's life miserable. Because there's nowhere that she can go that he can't follow if he can find her. Oh my days. Infected is server adminning right now. Swift step cast time is just latency, ping, or maybe not knowing where you're going before you go. Like you should almost never react with swift step. You should kind of already know where you're going. You should not react, as in you shouldn't be thinking last second where you're going. You should already know. Oh, Suzu's used, but Ball's super isolated, and Ball's gonna die for that. That's actually a fat EMP right there. Lethal's got some HP to play with. He needs to translocate up. He's too slow in the translocate. They got point flip though. They need another trade though, and they need another trade now. Otherwise, this could get really hairy. And I think they know it. I think Kaffa's trying to push out. I think he might die though. Oh, this is so stressful. Yeah, no, that's it. You could see it. Like, Lethal's getting caught. He's getting caught lacking. The EMP was fine, but you have to prioritize and save pressure, but it's not so easy anymore. When Ball Tracer on you 24/7.
Yeah, finally a brawl goes Liquid's way there. You know, it's a fight that is kind of...
But don't worry, remember I told you guys, Zero is going to lose this one. I don't even need to pray on his Genji skin choice downfall, because it's just a guarantee at this point. So. And, right, this side of the map will feel a little better for... a little worse for Ball, rather.
So now we're playing the dive game truly here. Infected has the mines, but it's going to be hard to convert here.
He's going to deepen the rotation. Deepen. Just has to watch for Sojourn Rail. There's Kitsune. They're going to disengage that and then pop it later. Winston Bubble's really good in Kitsune Rush. Can really shove the choke. And that's exactly what we see right there. Not giving any space to that backline. And now he has another Pulse Bomb. Or another Bubble, sorry. Pulse Bomb. Backline hit. They're going to get flip here. Pulse Bomb's whiffed. But the Sojourn ult is used on the angle, as are the mines. Not a bad trade there for GK. That's a 2 for 0, essentially, there, or a 3 for 1. But still, good response from Liquid, all things considered.
Of percentage there, as Team Liquid invest heavily into that fight.
Yeah, and I'm going to be interested to see how Liquid now take this next fight. Vega has the sound barrier. You know that there's no Kitsune Rush on the other.
Holy frick, this guy's in some... Yeah, I'm telling you, Sombra is so fragile. What? Wait, he got the Lucio. I would not be surprised if we see Lethal swapping the Sojourn after this EMP.
Should be fine here. Same with Tree. They're able to continually touch this point now because Infected is alive.
Beat engage. They need to get point flip at least for this. They get Tracer. That's massive. Kaffa should live. Bubble's there. Lethal should live. EMP's used. Doesn't feel 100% necessary, but to guarantee the fight, I don't mind. And then the hack. Trade on Admiral. Lethal needs to live. He will live. Ball will die. Nice virus. And just... Yeah, okay. So this is it. This is the big juicer right here. This fight could go either way.
Now Vega is forced to use this sound barrier. It's going to set Liquid back a little bit, but had to do that, of course. These mines have been so effective.
Where is Sombra? There's Sombra. Scouting on Sombra. So now we can walk forward. We have information on their angle. They can't really push us on the angle anymore. Primal is a very valuable ultimate in this matchup, though, because there's nothing that really stops the Primal from just basically kidnapping your Sojourn or your Kiriko. Mines are used a little early, but that does get recall. Backline's open. Vega's being focused. Hack on Ball. Can they get HP trades on Ball? The answer is yes. But can they secure a kill? The answer is not yet. He's got 3 seconds here. They need to get trades elsewhere. He gets the... oh my gosh, that's huge. That's your damage right there. Tracer's down. Maimon used recall to get that pulse. There's the Kitsune, the teleport. Booped out. Kitsune is used. We should have another bubble here. Oh my days. Dude, this shuffle perk from Kiriko is actually insane. Lethal should swap. We should see Sojourn Mirror here. I think if you have the Sojourn, I think Winston's better here. He might stay because, 60%, but... No, don't worry. Like I said, DK has this.
On a knife's edge as we move into this last point, Johnny, with sound barriers coming up.
Beat for beat. Lethal close-ish to EMP. Early dive. That's overshield used and share. Recall. Suzu and Lethal catches RuPaul. Lots of early pressure there from Geeke. That was odd. You're not used to seeing dives there. And that's going to give them a free cap. And now we have EMP. And Spilo's hairline. All right. I mean, two sure things, man. My hairline and Liquid losing. Good beat. There's the shuffle. Shuffle's all used. EMP is used. Sojourn is dead. Lethal might live here. Beautiful job. And by the way, notice the value of the heal passive perk. And not that garbage other perk. He got like 60 healing off of that instant passive heal kicking in here. Who wins in a forehead contest? You or Super? Probably Super. Early dive. Pressure goes in. Connects on Kiriko. Connects on Sojourn. Don't need to shuffle when you're going right for the backline. Any sort of zoning value here is good if Kuffa can live. Kuffa needs to live. Kuffa needs to live. They get the trade. Kuffa does live. That is a miracle that he lives. They really don't need to worry too much about touches here. He needs to bubble. Kuffa needs to bubble. Kuffa, don't grieve that, please. Kitsune, Ultraviolet? Wait, they're going to disengage that? Okay, yeah. So if they'd been able to disengage that, that would have actually been super big brain. It didn't feel like Geeke was on the same page there with whether they wanted to trade outside the spawn or play point. I would have preferred a more aggressive trade on backline off the primal there, though, and let them flip point even.
He's made hero plays before with the pulse bombs, Johnny. He has to make it again under a different banner.
Kitsune is used. Ball is hacked. Lethal's dead again.
But Lethal goes down. Zera makes another hero play. He still has the pulse bomb as well. Look at Geeke. They're just trying to pressure out this backline. They find two. Ultraviolets gets a double. Zera has still got pulse bomb, Johnny.
Don't worry.
But Admiral's got the sound barrier. He needs to hit this Lucio. He needs to cause Admiral to Ajax here. The mines deployed on the point for Team Liquid, buying them more.
They need to break the mines fast. And they do.
With the sound barrier, it's crucial time built. Here comes the pulse potentially from Cerebus. Oh, he commits the recall.
He commits the recall. We're still with the pulse bomb, Johnny. Here it is.
Beat for beat. EMP coming up soon. Pulse doesn't quite hit. EMP hits the first thing it hits. No. You don't need to do that. Oh, I guess they are going to do it. Huge virus. Sojourn should die. Sojourn dies. And what did I tell you? Easiest win I've ever seen in my life. Justice is still alive and well. So many fantasy points. Yeah, good for you, mate. Good for you, mate. Good game, great game. Good. Some really cool hero diversity and some pretty nicely played stuff there, honestly. Great match.
Honestly, it didn't look like it's gonna be the case right out of the gate, right? Like Team Liquid map 1 was so dominant, and that made me happy on one hand because that's the Liquid we wanted to see last week. Like they completely crumbled, but they recovered from that flawlessly.
I hope you guys understand the Zero thing is a joke. I feel like that shouldn't have to be clarified, but there's gonna be like one person that thinks that I hate Zero. It's a joke. I don't like the Genji skin, so I feel like that should need to be clarified, but I don't know.
What a phenomenal game. I love the clash of compositions. We also see both of those teams playing to their
What a match.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's been a lot of comps, a lot of silliness with the Lifeweaver.
Oh, there's your wall hawk value. Wow. I actually think they should have won this sooner. They got a little messy there towards the end. Yes, I do hate Zero. That is right. That's right. No, it is not my favorite Genji skin. I actually do. I do dislike the Genji skin. It's overused. That was good. Good game. Chat, I'm done. I'm rating cap. Goodbye. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Loves and kisses. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I'll see you then.